This
So also, bit of a disclaimer. Brock can barely read, so bear with us.
Oh, I can read. Watch, bitch. So this included a report over the weekend that calculated. Fuck you. This included. See what you've done? You psyched me out.
That's a clip right there.
Welcome in, everyone. We are Blacklisted Gaming and Doc on the Regiment channel today. Today, we're going to be doing a podcast episode. For those that don't know, I have a gaming podcast, so today I figured that I do something a little bit different and live stream one of our podcast episodes here. We have a lot of news to cover, but I also want to go ahead and say that we will get to the chat at some point. During the time that we do these podcasts, me and Doc like to shoot the shit. We like to talk about these articles and these topics. So we're going to be talking about the latest and the greatest in the gaming industry right now. So if you want, you could find me on Twitch right here. Let's go. Let's shout out Blacklisted Gaming.
Just put Blacklisted. No.
That doesn't go to mine. Hold on. Well, I don't know why it's not working. Anyway, there it is.
Bam! Look at that.
Wow. I guess it does work. Okay. So for the listeners out there that are going to be, coming to my channel once I actually record, once this is being recorded. So once I actually post this, you're probably wondering, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Well, if you've been around for a while, you've known that we do these live podcast episodes, but we're not doing it on our channel. We're doing it on a Regiment channel today. So be sure to go ahead, and those of you that are watching that are familiar with Regiment, go ahead and hit all the commands. Hey, thanks for the sub, Army dude. So,
God damn,
was it loud?
That was loud as shit.
So sorry, but yeah. So for the listeners out there that are typically listening to this on Spotify and stuff, if you hear the alerts and stuff, that's because we're on the Regiment channel and we're live streaming this. And for those of you who don't know who we are, we are the Blacklisted Gaming Podcast. You can find us on Spotify, you can find us on YouTube, and all that jazz. Like I said before, if you're just tuning in, we aren't going to be really engaging with chat all that much, except for in between articles and at the end. So during this, if we miss your comment, don't think that we're ignoring you, but we are ignoring you. I'm just kidding. No, don't think that we're ignoring you. We're just trying to get through the topics. We also have a really tight time frame compared to what we normally do, which is we have no time constraint. And because there is other streamers that come in after this, we are going to be, once I'm done, there's going to be another streamer that follows me. So that's how this is going to go. So just bear with me and have a little bit of patience, but we will get to you. And but in the meantime, Doc, how are you doing?
Great. I go home at like 12:30.
Man, your life sucks, doesn't it? You get off work at fucking noon.
Fucking rough. I mean, I did have to go to a ship today.
Talk to your microphone.
I had
Dude, when you stream, do you have your microphone that far away? You muted yourself.
Yes, because it picks my stuff up.
I mean, it picks up on here. I wonder if maybe there's an audio setting here that I'm just not really tracking.
Maybe.
Is there a way I can adjust your volume on here? Oh, there is a way I can adjust your volume on here. Talk again.
Probably. Yeah, there we go. It's probably just
wow.
Discord.
It is the Discord because it defaults you down below, and I'm like, why are you so quiet? But that's why.
I'm just whispering sweet nothings into your ear.
Yeah, we're doing it's a remote episode because he's in Virginia and I'm in Wisconsin. So
living life.
Gone are the days when Doc actually would come over on Saturdays and record, right?
I know, those are fun times though. That's about the only good thing about being up there.
They were the fun times. It was funny, you remember when so Doc is the one that introduced me to Regiment for all the Regiment viewers out there. Me and Doc, he found me when I was doing a stream in drag. I was playing Warzone and I was dressed like a woman. I can't remember why. It wasn't Halloween. It was because there's a streamer that I knew. Her name was That Ginger Girl. She was out overseas for a while, and people were wanting her to come back. So because I was also part of that community, I decided to go ahead and give her, her and my viewers what they wanted and dress up like her and pretend to be her. And then that's how Doc found me. Back. And then Doc told me about, actually, I think I was already in Regiment by the time you
were, yeah, because this is the second time we've talked about this. Somebody on Twitter that you don't have contact with anymore
It was Crazy Ass Devil. He pops in once in a great while, but Crazy Ass Devil, he
I did your on-board brief though.
You did do my onboard brief. And then
back when that was a thing.
He eventually reached out to me. We were talking and stuff, and he was a concurrent viewer on my channel. And I asked him, and I'm like, where you at? He's like, I'm stationed at Great Lakes. And I'm like, dude, I live in Kenosha. I'm like literally 20 minutes away from you. And so me and him met up, had some beers, and then said, you want to be on the podcast? And he's like, yeah. So we started doing the podcast, and that was back when the grandma couch was around.
Yeah, I'm hunched over with this fucking mic stand.
Our mic, the mics that we had were on these little stands that were like maybe like that tall, and then like he's like leaning over like this and like holding it up and shit. It was super uncomfortable. I'm the only one that had the mic boom, and but then
I know.
Eventually the podcast evolved, and then we now we have 2 desks and like cameras and microphones and stuff, and it's a good time.
We do fucking virtual shit.
We could do virtual shit. We have evolved to the next level of podcasting. So I'm actually really excited to finally get Rocco on here. So if you guys are watching this and wondering what I'm talking about, so Rocco Vargas from you've known him. He plays in the show Mayans as Gilly. And I reached out to him about wanting to be on the podcast episode. He said absolutely. So me and him are working it out right now with his schedule and stuff, with filming and everything. And I mean, filming's wrapped for this season, but he's kind of like taking a break from everything because, filming takes you away from the family and stuff. So he's having some family time. So I'm hoping sometime this summer to get him on here, maybe at the end of the summer, closer to the fall. I was hoping for the spring, but it's probably not going to happen. But hey, so today we have a bunch of, not a bunch, but we do have some things to talk about. First things first, we're going to talk about Diablo Immortal. So Diablo Immortal, for all you people out there that have been wondering, do you not have phones? Well, guess what? You can actually play it on PC. They changed their mind about the exclusive mobile thing, but they didn't change their mind about using, mobile schemes for that game.
All I think about when you say that is that clip.
What? Do you guys not have phones?
Where me and Alicia are making fun of you.
Oh, yeah. You guys are just shitting on and she's over here laughing. You guys are just shitting on the fact that I can't speak and read. Thanks, babe.
Do you guys want to read?
You want to read? You want to read? But so Diablo Immortal is like right now it's like the top 5 worst games rated on Metacritic right now, and that is literally within a week of its launch.
Is it worse than Battlefield 2042?
Yeah. I mean, so here's the thing. The game in itself is actually pretty good. It's the end game content and the grind that it makes you do, and the amount of time and money it takes for you to actually max out a character. Now, RPGs and MMOs like this, of course, there's going to be a grind to max out your character. There always is. But the difference with this one is that it takes you, as this next article says, it will take you 10 years of playing the game to max out one character.
FIFA Ultimate Team vibes? What?
And then the other thing about it, if you really want to fucking actually alleviate that time grind, it's going to cost you about $110,000 to max out one character.
I got that kind of.
We will break down we're going to break down exactly like what all entails about those, like the cost of that and why it costs that much. But it is fucking nuts that's even a thing.
That character sucks.
Huh?
What if that character sucks? You just blew $110,000.
You just blew $110,000 maxing out stats on shit that you aren't really that aren't viable. I don't know. So this is actually a pretty trending topic as of yesterday. Actman, who is a YouTuber, reveals his Dark Age video of YouTube video was removed, and his whole channel is being demonetized by YouTube. So there's a lot going into this. Basically, how this started was the Actman made a YouTube video talking about another YouTuber called QuantumTV who had an Elden Ring review that he didn't agree with. As a result of that, Quantum went full throttle and basically claimed his video as a terms of service violation for nudity, which wasn't true. And then he ended up doxing the dude's family. And when Actman called out Quantum about this to YouTube, YouTube demonetized his channel and is now his whole channel. Demonetized him, are threatening to unpartner him, and also are saying that for the whole nudity thing. And then now what they're doing is that they are demonetizing and striking videos of people that are discussing this.
It's not the first time YouTube's done something like this.
Oh, and like Army Dude said, Quantum also fucking called Actman's mom.
I'm gonna tell.
He like called his mom. He doxed his family and shit. And YouTube actually didn't do anything to Quantum about any of this. And apparently Quantum, I mean, I don't know anything about these guys, so I'm gonna be fair on that. Quantum apparently has videos of him being like racist, even though he's black. Making like sexist comments, like, you know, what's the like very anti-gay comments and stuff. And YouTube has done nothing to him. But Actman is like, this was trending on Twitter yesterday, and we'll dive a little bit more into like the details of this. So for all you fans of Sonic the Hedgehog, there's a new Sonic game coming out, and the Sonic game is called Sonic Frontiers, and they showed its first gameplay reveal about a week ago, and it looks awful. It looks like an unfinished tech demo at the best. There's like it's the weirdest looking open world game I've seen. It like looks like someone just, you know, was doing like a game design project for school and then put it together. And, you know, the world just looks very like dark. It looks very empty. And like a lot of assets look like they're missing, but a lot of people are like, what the fuck is this? So
you're gonna have an open world Sonic game anyway,
and it's gonna have like a fucking skills tree and all that stuff. It's weird. They're turning Sonic the Hedgehog in an open world RPG.
But it's gonna have a battle pass.
It's probably gonna have a season pass and all kinds of dumb shit.
You can unlock Knuckles and Tails, or you can pay to unlock them.
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Sega to do that.
Spend 100,000 hours trying to get it, or you can spend $110,000 trying to get it. You know?
So big news in the Modern Warfare world. Modern Warfare had a reveal. So the Modern Warfare reveal came out. What was it? Yesterday?
No, I think it was Tuesday.
No, it was yesterday because I remember it coming out. It was yesterday at 10 a.m. It was during my VA appointment.
Oh, that was Tuesday.
Nope. But there's actually more details about, you know, the new features of the game, to include Warzone 2 and like how like none of your stats and none of your equipment transfer over from Warzone to the new Warzone.
Yeah, I think we all saw that coming though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too like bent up about it because it's basically gonna be a new Warzone with a whole, I think, all new shit in it. It has to have a whole new loot pool. So I mean, that kind of makes sense. And then we're going to talk about the pricing because apparently on Steam it's going for $70, which is weird to me because you'd think that next gen consoles it would be, but they are also going to release it on old gen consoles.
That's probably just because it's still impossible to fucking find.
Yeah, I know. Like here we are, what, 3 years in, and we still can't fucking get our hands on like next gen consoles.
2 years.
Whatever. So Blue Box, we've talked about this game before. Blue Box has a horror survival game coming out called Abandoned, or I should say coming out, because nobody knows what the fuck this game is, and nobody knows when it's coming out. And every time that they were talking about launching some reveal, it's just been the same trailer that they've shown before, and there really hasn't been anything new to it. So, you know, with no new news about it and like no new footage about it, has everyone like thinking, is this like a bullshit game? Is this not real? Well, there's an insider with Blue Box that's actually been like talking about how the mismanagement, the toxic workplace, and how basically nobody's been working on this game, and the game is probably never going to come out. It's probably going to go on the shelf with all the other scrap projects that Blue Box has had. So
like they're abandoning the idea.
They're abandoned.
Imagine.
So, okay. So Summer Game Fest is right now, huh? Oh, it is. It is right now, isn't it? I forgot all about that. This one's a weird story. So we got the former Nickelodeon president, is now going to be putting on a new show on YouTube that prepares kids for the metaverse. And
Strange.
it's super weird and really creepy because it's going to introduce them to a world of NFTs.
Shocker.
Fucking
Here
weird.
we go. I should have known this was going to have NFTs in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's metaverse, dude. Come on. Anything related to the metaverse is going to have NFTs involved. So, but it's weird. It's almost, it almost seems like, like they're conditioning kids.
Yes. I mean, if someone just said it in chat too, if the metaverse is like Ready Player One, I'm down for it.
No, that's not good though. I'm down for it if it's like this fucking virtual hellscape that we can all do what we want, but the real world is just this fucking post-apocalyptic nightmare.
I'm not saying the outside world. I'm saying,
but that's what it turns into.
In general,
that's what it turns into.
No, it can get better. When the kid took over, it was basically he was like, no, it's turned off on like Thursdays or some shit. You actually have to experience real life, and go outside.
You have to go outside, touch some grass, and experience the real world. But the real world is like everything's polluted. People are living on top of each other, and then like
that's how the world is now. What are you talking about?
That's why I said like we're on our way to this fucking post-apocalyptic hellscape. It doesn't sound good at all. At least then
I can escape and enjoy it.
So the concept of a game like Ready Player One is pretty cool, but creating an entire world where you had to spend money to buy property within the game through crypto, by the way, and it's all controlled by Facebook. That's weird. That's weird.
I already don't trust Facebook enough. I don't want them to control the metaverse.
I don't want them to control the metaverse. I don't want them to control anything. They control everything. It sucks. Like they control too much.
Fucking Mark Zuckerberg. You ever seen the way this man sips water?
Yeah, he like drinks water. It's like it's just like he's just like he drinks water like an alien, like he doesn't know what it is or what to do with it. Like, how do humans process water? Is this
and
how they
everybody?
Drink? How do they?
Everybody
drink?
stares at him.
And then
hindering on is everywhere.
If you look in that man's eyes, there's not a single fucking like spark of humanity behind him. They're just these dead robotic blue eyes, and they have this weird outline around them, and he just looks creepy.
I think I saw ones and zeros behind his eyes.
Yeah, it's just like computing now. How do humans interact? So all hail Carlos says, robot. Let me play in the metaverse while I'm sleeping and still feel rested the next day. Sign me up.
Yeah, exactly. See, he's got the right idea.
I mean, hey. So yeah, let's dive into some of this shit because it's weird. Some of it is real fucking weird. Hang on.
Yo, this purple mattress that I got though.
Yeah, I want one of those mattresses, but I don't want to spend like a fucking fortune to get it.
Worth it. It's a good fortune to invest in.
Yeah, it's probably a good fortune investment, but I don't have several grand to just fucking throw at a mattress.
Especially with your jumping out of planes having ass.
I know, dude. I was walking down the stairs the other day, and like my back was hurting as I was doing it. I'm like, bro, what the hell? And like I mowed the lawn, and as soon as I went to sit down on the couch, like my whole back went crack. And I was like, how? Why?
Sounds amazing. I wish my back would do that.
I mean, it sounds amazing, but the thing is, you're in a constant state of pain, so it's not really that great.
Yeah, but you get like 75%. So.
I mean, listen, it's something that you don't understand. You'll never understand. Navy and all. You Navy have an ass.
I'm a sand sailor, okay?
I'm a sand sailor.
Dude, I was on ship today because we had a sprint mission, which basically just means somebody killed themselves and I have to go out and talk to sailors that are sad about it. That's essentially what that means. And we had to go out to the ship and talk to these people, and I'm so fucking lost on the ship, dude. I have no idea. They're like, you have your surface warfare pin. I'm like, this is a lie. I got this when I was with the Marines. I don't know anything about this boat life.
It's a pirate's life for me.
It's a fucking weird world, man.
Loot Hunter says, guess who quit his traveling job to get a local decent job now that there's more time for streaming? This guy. Congratulations, Loot. So now we're going to be diving into these topics, just so you guys know. So if you're commenting and you're wondering why the fuck we're not saying anything back to you, it's because it's because we are going to get to you after the topic. So
that one. That's the one.
We're going to get to you after the topic. We're going to kind of get you guys' like, your opinions on it too. Once we, absolutely flame with our opinions. So get ready for that. So here we go. All right, so first topic, Diablo Immortal faces backlash as Metacritic user score drops to Blizzard's third lowest ever. Now, I want to point out this. In the top, in the 5 games that are the lowest rated games on Metacritic, Blizzard games make up 3 of them.
So, Activision.
Basically, yes. Activision Blizzard are they make up some of the top where like you have, but you also have Madden. So EA and Activision make up pretty much every single. Oh no, I'm sorry, Rockstar, because you have the Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition, the one that was like a fucking nightmare when they launched it. It was just basically like a mobile ported version of Grand Theft Auto series put on a PC.
Where the dude's face was like stretched into the wall. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah. So it's Diablo. Let's see. Well, I think this will go through the list. So loot boxes and PvP mode ruined by pay to win are among the top complaints from players. So Diablo Immortal is facing a large backlash from players following its release last week. The free-to-play MMO was released on June 2nd on iOS and Android and is open beta on PC, but quickly saw negative reception for its heavy focus on microtransactions. This
also bit of a disclaimer. Brock can barely read, so bear with us.
Oh, I can read. Watch, bitch. So this included a report over the weekend that calculated. Fuck you. This included. See what you've done? You psyched me out.
That's a clip right there.
So this included a report over the weekend that calculated it cost players up to $110,000 to fully upgrade a character in the game. The negativity has resulted in Diablo Immortal being review bombed on Metacritic, which at the time of writing means its user score is currently at just 0.8, which, by the way, as of yesterday, was at 0.5. So it's dropped even more. So the third worst score in Blizzard's history.
0.8 is higher than 0.5, though. Aren't you in college right now?
I just said, as of writing this, it was sitting at a 0.8. It dropped even more to 0.5 as of yesterday.
To 0. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's what I was saying. I said, at the time of this article, it's 0.8. As of yesterday, it was 0.5, so it's gotten worse. That's what I said.
This is where I'm confused, because I feel like you just said it again.
I literally said, at the time of this article, which was on, let me see, it was on June 6th, right? On June,
and yesterday it was the 8th. Got it.
Yesterday was, so as of the 6th, it was at 0.8. As of yesterday, it's 0.5, which means the reviews got worse. It went lower.
Okay.
So Diablo Immortal's game director has suggested some negativity around the game is based on misinformation. I don't know what's misinformation about any of this, but okay.
Objection, hearsay.
Objection, hearsay. Objection. Update. Diablo Immortal players have begun reporting that instead of being rewarded with upgrade items when finishing quests, they're being presented with advertisements for a bundle of upgrade items they can purchase.
Whoa.
Yeah, so you finish a quest, and instead of getting an upgrade, you get an opportunity to buy an upgrade, a bundle of them.
That's like some mobile game shit right there.
Yeah, and they're like, and the whole thing is like, it's free to play, though. It's like, shut the fuck up. So here's another update. Diablo Immortal now has the worst Metacritic user score in Blizzard's history. So at the time of this article, it was the third worst. Now it is the first worst.
Just breaking records here.
Yeah, we are. So the only Blizzard games receiving worst user score to date were Warcraft 3 Reforged, which sat at a 0.6, and World of Warcraft Classic, Burning Crusade Classic, which sat at a 0.4, both of which were released in recent years, 2020 and 2021.
I think I remember those.
Blizzard, you ain't doing too hot, guys. This is the latest in a poor run of user scores, Blizzard on Metacritic, which hasn't seen a non-negative score since 2019, when the Switch port of Overwatch received a 6.1.
I bet it's because of all the sexual abuse that they're doing.
I'm sure it's a combination of that too. So one of the main arguments against the game is that while it initially seems reasonable with its use of microtransactions, it's only once you reach the end game that they start to feel intrusive. So during the game, and this is what sucks about it, is that Diablo Immortal at its core is a pretty good Diablo game from what everyone's been saying. But once you get to the end game, it's when they throw all this fucking monetization in your face and like try to strong arm you into paying more money. Let's see what Microsoft does to Activision Blizzard in the coming years. We'll see. So despite this, wait, hang on, let me see. Oh, I skipped the whole ass paragraph. So this may explain why the game seems to be faring better on the Google Play and Apple App Store, where it is currently standing at user ratings of 4.1, 4.7, and respectively out of 5.
Why?
I don't know. Despite this, both Diablo Immortal and subreddit and the general Diablo subreddit are filled with posts from fans unhappy with the game's monetization.
I wonder if that is because people on mobile games expect more microtransaction type stuff.
Probably. So this guy tweeted, "Oh yes, Diablo Immortal is absolutely pay to win eventually." So this is what he's posting right here. This is a whole Forbes article essentially. So honestly, one of the most insane gacha schemes I've seen. You're essentially playing through a dungeon to open a loot box you bought. So when you buy a loot box, it doesn't open. You buy a loot box, go play a dungeon, and then open it. So an endgame build requires hundreds of legendary crest runs, and you can maybe get like 3 a month for free. Yeah, it caps you. It caps you at how many you can earn to like a very small amount. So one comment suggested the game starts off reasonable, but when you reach the end game, the microtransactions feel intrusive, which may be an explanation for the positive mobile reviews.
But why does it matter if you're at the end game?
I don't know, because the end game you get is where you get your more prestigious and high level loot. So like during the game, like you play it, and the end game is like where all the extra dungeons and the extra grind is for you to go get higher tier items, and then there's a PvP section.
Okay.
So the game is a shit ton of fun. I highly appreciate that I could put 30 plus hours for free, they say. However, as you reach around level 50 plus, you start to feel more and more the pay to win aspects. If you are below level 50, please don't defend the game as if it's your own child. It is designed to feel free to play friendly below that level. I used to be one of the people that defended the game hard. However, now that I've spent 2 days playing 8+ hours per day, I easily start to see what everyone is complaining about. If the game continues to stay like this, I don't see myself playing much more.
What does this man do for a living?
Dude, I don't know. I would love this to be able... I would love this to be a game that I spend 500 hours in rather than 50 and drop it, because of that, we need to push back hard at Blizzard for them to tone down the pay-to-win nature of the game and predatory tactics. Dude, why are you playing 500 hours of a game?
Some games you could do that very easily in.
Yeah, I know. So another post points out that the game plays on the nature of sunk cost fallacy, in which people continue to spend money on something so they don't feel like the money they previously spent on it has been wasted.
Yeah.
I am someone who has fallen into this trap on a mobile game, they wrote. You spend money, get nothing, and then you spend more money until you finally get the thing because you don't want to feel like you just wasted $30 to $60, etc. Once you finally get your thing, it would have cost you $100+. With Diablo Immortal, though, I am watching Blizzard's victims fall into the trap while spending thousands of dollars trying to get the thing. I'm someone who has a bit of a gambling itch, and I feel like dying after spending $1,300+ on a mobile game after 6 months. I can't imagine people are going to be feeling too well mentally once they realize how much they're spending on Diablo. Now, there's already a guy who has spent 10 grand on the game.
I was about to say, I wish I could just casually spend $1,300 on a mobile game,
Right.
and then just feel a little bit bad about it. Like, damn, I wish I hadn't spent that much.
I know it's you have the people that are gambling addicts that play these kinds of games, and they are the ones that are most susceptible to this kind of practice. And Activision Blizzard knows this, and that's why there's actually a whole seminar that I think I even talked to you about, where there was actually a person discussing how mobile games are designed to to a certain group of people based off of like their habits of how they play. You have the completionists, so they put a time gate on things, and the microtransaction is that you have to pay money to get to the next level, or you have to wait like 24 hours before you can play the next level. So that's how they do that, by making you pay or make you wait. And everyone knows that you're not going to fucking wait to want to play the next level, so the completionist will pay money into that. Now you have the people that are that are basically gambling addicts, where they throw in the loot boxes. That's where the loot boxes come in. They want the high level shit, but they're caught up in this loop of trying to spend a lot of fucking money into this loot box to try to finally get that thing. And this next article we're going to talk about actually breaks down the figures of the drop chances for some of this high level shit, which you need these things called legendary crests in order to even get the high level stuff. That's where the monetization comes in. That's why it's so fucking shitty.
So the one mobile game that I play is very similar to this in the sense of what you're saying. It's got I think a lot of mobile games are kind of like it in a sense.
They are.
It's a Marvel game. It's a Marvel fighting game, and it's got energy. So when you're going through a quest, you're using energy, and you get one little piece of energy every 5 minutes or something. Or you can spend money to get these in-game currency to refill it completely. You'll earn the in-game currency eventually as well, but you can also buy the in-game currency.
There was a Harry Potter game like this. You played it? You know exactly what I'm talking about? So like this Harry Potter game was the same way, and like there was like one level where you got stuck at where Harry gets brutally killed by the boss, and you can't earn enough energy to get past that boss, so it makes you pay for that energy so that you can beat the boss and get through the level and go and move on.
Oh yeah, there's extra stuff you can pay because you still got to level up your characters. You have to get these specific tier things. Like it's so much time and ridiculous resources. Like the people that pay for this game are spending thousands of dollars.
Yeah, they are, and it's by design. It is not by accident. So it sucks because, like I said, with that Harry Potter game, and the worst, the shittiest and grimiest thing that they did about that was that they made you watch Harry Potter get killed until you fucking paid money to keep him from getting killed. So it's just like, we're going to brutalize Harry Potter until you give us money to move on. It's like, Jesus Christ, man, really?
All I think about is all the other games that you can buy with that money.
I know, but the people that are playing it are not thinking about that. They're thinking about getting through the game they're currently playing.
Yeah.
So that's where the scheme comes in. And it's real shitty that they do that. But they, gaming companies going to be gaming companies. What? You'll put what in the chat? Alicia's typing in the chat. So let's talk about this YouTuber that actually did the math, that crunched the numbers to find out exactly what costs what, how much you're going to spend, and how much time you're going to spend if you don't want to spend money. So it costs $110,000 to fully gear up in Diablo Immortal. A YouTuber calculates how much it costs to max out a character's legendary gems in Diablo Immortal, and the final number goes beyond six figures.
What is six figures? $60,000.
What? No, six figures is six. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 figures right here. Six figures is 100,000 and beyond.
I'm not gonna lie, I never thought of that.
Holy shit. What?
I always thought when people said that it meant like $60,000 or something.
No. Just because it has 6 in it doesn't literally mean 6. Alicia even said that, yeah, these games are designed in this way, but also these people continue to fuel the fire. People keep playing it. And she's right.
See, these are things they need to teach in school, okay? Because that would be fucking nice to know.
They never will teach that. So now that you've learned something, Doc,
I'm almost 31, and I found that I'm today years old.
Of the 6-figure thing?
Yes.
6 figures means 100,000 or more.
Yep. I had no fucking clue.
7 figures means $1 million.
Yep. I had no idea. I thought that meant 70K.
You learned something, bud.
We can move on now.
You spelled dumb wrong, sweetheart. That was on purpose. So if you play for free, how long will it take you to max out? 10 years. And I'm not lying. So having launched ahead of schedule just a few days back, Activision Blizzard's Diablo Immortal has been making headlines for a widely variety of reasons, not least of which is the microtransactions model. So namely, Diablo Immortal is a free-to-play game, and such features a number of ways that players can support its continued development. While this approach to substantially is rather commonplace nowadays, Diablo Immortal may have taken things a step farther than most players have expected. According to YouTube channel Beller News calculations, the game's unique monetization system is set up in a way that makes the character min-maxing an exceedingly expensive endeavor. So the crux of the issue, as per Beller News' recent video, is that Diablo Immortal allows players to buy the so-called legendary gems. These are one of the character's 3 progression pillars alongside regular gear and XP level, and they dictate one's endgame tier progression beyond what is possible simply by reaching Diablo Immortal's level cap. As of now, free-to-play players cannot earn top-rated legendary games. I think that meant to say gems. Cannot earn top legendary gems, which are only available via some of the game's monetization options. And fully maxing out a character effectively costs $110,000 in the game's current economy.
That literally is pay to win. Like when you cannot access something without paying for it.
Yes,
it's 1,000% pay to win. So
Matt and Michael of Beller News also make an argument that Diablo Immortal's legendary gems are a deliberately convoluted system, explaining that it would take roughly 10 years of playtime for a free-to-play player to fully kit out a character in the game's current iteration.
Is that in-game time?
Probably, yeah. Specifically, legendary gems aren't even guaranteed drop for playing players, as they are only randomly awarded upon purchasing legendary crests, i.e. loot boxes. So you can't even earn these gems unless you buy loot boxes. And even then, it's only a chance that you would earn it.
So it sounds like this game's going to be banned in a few countries.
It is banned already. You can't get it in Belgium and in the Netherlands.
Oh, there it is.
It's funny because even Activision Blizzard came out and said that Belgium and the Netherlands are actively hindering, the gaming industry. And you know what? Actually, I thought, now that I remembered this, we'll pull that up next. Because their response to that is so fucking out of touch that it'll blow your mind. But then again, it is Activision Blizzard, so probably not. So following Diablo Immortal's early launch, the game does indeed seem to be a true Diablo experience in more ways than not. The community began praising the core gameplay loop almost immediately upon release, though there was a healthy dose of skepticism surrounding Immortal's monetization system too. And that may have been warranted if Beller News findings are correct. Since the game also came out on PC, it's worth considering the notion that Diablo Immortal's PC release is good news for Warcraft Mobile. Once it comes out, as that game too may be available on a greater number of devices than it was initially suspected. After all, for players uninterested in min-maxing, Immortal's potentially egregious monetization might not be an issue. Though Greg2G, another YouTuber, already pointed out that most free-to-play players of Diablo Immortal will never see a 5-star gem in the game as it currently stands. So let's actually, let's pull that shit up, dude. Because that is fucking, it is absolutely insane. And it should piss you off. Diablo Immortal not available in some countries. So let's pull this up.
Isn't it? I think they banned it in the UK or loot boxes. Anyways, they banned it in the UK. I think. In Brazil, I'm pretty sure they banned it too.
All right, check this out. So Diablo Immortal will be banned in at least 2 countries. The controversial free-to-play video game will not be available to download in the Netherlands or Belgium due to the gambling regulations on loot boxes. So Blizzard Entertainment's free-to-play video game Immortal was unavailable to download for gamers in the Netherlands and Belgium. As reported Ars Technica, the game will not be available for the 2 European countries due to conflicting laws and regulations that classify loot boxes as illegal gambling. Diablo Immortal will not be available in Belgium or the Netherlands and will not appear on the Battle.net or the Belgian and Netherlands app or Google Play stores, said the spokesperson for Activision Blizzard in an interview with Eurogamer. This is related to the current operating environment for games in those countries. Accordingly, pre-registrations for the game are not accessible in those markets. So I'm curious what the response is. On April 2018, ruling in the Netherlands and Belgium outlawed loot boxes in video games. Claiming the implementation of such feature provided illegal games of chance with prizes that were variable market values. Since this ruling, many games released in these countries have since had to change to comply with these laws, including removing loot boxes.
We like you too.
We like you too. If you're just tuning in, just so you know, we'll get to the chat in between the articles. So just stand by and hang out with us and read this nightmare.
Yeah. Stand by to stand by.
So the development and release of Diablo Immortal has been what many would call a rough one, being plagued with controversy, delays, and false promises. The initial announcement of the game in 2018 by lead designer Wyatt Chang went viral after it was met with an overwhelming crowd of boos due to its mobile exclusivity, which Blizzard has now backtracked on. Even less than a week after its release, Diablo Immortal's in-game microtransaction system has already garnered unwanted attention. Many enraged critics claim that the pay-to-win model gives gamers such a significant advantages in gameplay, and non-playing gamers can never match them. So I'm really curious. This didn't actually talk about their response. So let's see. Blizzard responds to Diablo Immortal Belgium.
I'm just over here looking to see what Google is suggesting to you, just so we can get a bit of a glimpse into your history.
Well, once I start typing shit, it should say. So let's see. So Blizzard basically said its current operating environments for preventing the release of its new free-to-play title. There was something they even said about this too.
Who's listening to the article?
I don't know. Blind people.
How did they get to the article?
So essentially what Blizzard and Activision are doing is they're blaming Belgium and the Netherlands for why their game is not able to be purchased in those countries. And completely overlooking the entire point that, like, your game is this fucking hellscape of microtransactions and loot boxes and pay-to-win mechanics, and it goes against the law, and they're so out of fucking touch with it, you know? But then again, I'm not surprised by them.
Nope, not at all.
I mean, after all, their CEO did threaten to have his secretary murdered, so.
True. I bet he's going to threaten to have the leaders of those countries murdered.
I mean, he already tried threatening gaming articles to flip the narrative on the whole scandal that was going on inside of the company. Try to make Activision Blizzard look good in the media by trying to coerce them into making more positive articles about him and the company, despite what was going on.
What scandals? What do you mean?
You know, the sexual misconduct lawsuits and all that shit, and Bobby Kotick's character and the accusations on him and the insider trading and all that shit that they're going through right now. That shit.
Hearsay.
Objection, hearsay.
Hearsay.
Objection, lack of foundation. All right, so we're going to talk about YouTubers, shall we? YouTube. That's not the right button. That's the right button. So,
my buttons, Daddy.
This is a new trending topic. The Actman reveals the Dark Age of YouTube video was removed and his channel is being demonetized. Let me zoom in on this a little bit so you all can read it. So YouTuber The Actman's channel has been plagued with controversy recently, as that has even spilled onto other channels. The YouTuber produced a video about his issue with QuantumTV called The Dark Age of YouTube. Yeah, crazy world we live in, isn't it, Loot? So then things got worse when the content creator's partner manager informed him that his channel would be demonetized and departnered at some point in the future, leaving his fans frustrated. So he even shares this tweet. What
does partnered on YouTube mean?
It's essentially the same as partnered on Twitch. It's like Tim the Tatman is partnered on YouTube. So this would be like,
mean like you have a contract with them specifically?
Yes.
That's what partnered is?
And that they make money and stuff and that they're partnered streamers. He's even verified on Twitter. So
well, I mean, you can monetize on YouTube very easily.
You can, but you can also make additional revenue as partners on YouTube. So
carry on.
So the removed video titled The Dark Age of YouTube concerned the issues the content creator had with QuantumTV. According to the video, all of the alleged harassment that Actman faced due to QuantumTV was fined by YouTube. So he says in this tweet, apparently the video was taken down because of nudity and sexual content, which this was just basically him calling out Quantum for doxing him and his family and calling his mom. So the only explanation is that the cucumber jokes were considered sexually explicit. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think poorly photoshopping a cucumber on someone's mouth is a sex act. LMAO.
It's pretty loose grounds, but it's clearly a sexual joke.
I mean, still. So YouTube removed the video due to violation of community guidelines, nudity, or sexual activity. The YouTuber was confused. Well, hang on a second. Wouldn't you consider fucking ASMR ear sucking and all this like chicks pretending to blow fucking microphones as an act of like a sex act?
It depends on how much that they're making YouTube.
It shouldn't fucking matter. Like usually the ones that make the most are the ones that don't get in trouble.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on how much money that they're making. That YouTube's like, no, we don't think it's just ASMR.
So anyway. So he actually was confused by this and did reply that the only reason YouTube would have had this cucumber joke he used, photoshopping into someone's mouth. So the Actman then took to Twitter the next day to reveal that he would be removed from the YouTube partner program and his channel would be completely demonetized. Despite that, he would try to work with his partner manager about it, but all video plans would be on hold. Despite this, he wanted anything said about it to be constructive and done without toxicity. The YouTuber was hoping this could all be resolved amicably. Unfortunately, that did not seem to be the case. So he said, other content creators are being attacked by YouTube because of me. Don't care if my YouTube channel is banned anymore. Martyr me for Cordis die. Keep the revolution alive. So essentially, people on YouTube are being like demonetized and like hit back from YouTube for like violation of community guidelines for even just discussing this whole thing.
This isn't the first time that YouTube has done some stuff like this, and they do it frequently.
Oh yeah, I know
very frequently. And the whole doxing and the people, especially smaller channels that can't even really fight back to it, people will get their content stolen and they'll get their stuff copyright struck for no reason.
Oh, the abuse!
It's just other people claiming their shit.
The abuse of the fair use thing is rampant on YouTube, and YouTube really doesn't have. This is like the biggest flaw of YouTube is that they don't really have a true way of stopping it. It's all automated.
Yeah.
So, and then like when it comes to the review process can be lengthy, unless there's a massive backlash on it. Then that's the only way it gets resolved. But aside from that, like smaller creators are fucked.
Like trolls will literally just strike your channel out of nowhere, and once that gets reported, then it's a channel strike until you rescind it or whatever. What's the word I'm looking for? Put in the request to have it taken down. and then people will also just steal your content and make it theirs, and it's like impossible to get at a certain point. Some people can get big off of your content and you're not even aware of
You
it.
see it all the time. So he put out this tweet, and I saw this one. Hostiles have gained a command post. So it says, my new video for tomorrow where I don't swear once is demonetized. YouTube doesn't want anyone talking about the Actman YouTube drama. I'm going to try to find a way to fix it. I'll release it regardless, though. And then
It's usually tied to like buzzwords or keywords that they put into the automation.
Yeah.
That once it hears that, it's like demonetized. Because you see it on people's videos all the time. When the stuff on Afghanistan was going down, if you said Afghanistan in your video,
it
you
flagged
get
you.
Flagged and demonetized. Yeah. And if you say
we live in a fucking world of censorship and fucking, I hate it so much. It's like you can't talk about anything without getting in trouble. It's almost like that. Remember the Hong Kong thing? When people were getting in, like all of it, when people were getting in trouble for just talking about Hong Kong and China.
Yeah.
And like showing support for the people of Hong Kong. And then they would get banned. They'd get fired and all that crazy shit, forced to apologize. It's like, guess what, fuckers? Fuck you. I even said that once I put this out on YouTube, I don't give a fuck. I'm actually going to put it in the description because they even said right here, just even having the Actman in the title is enough to get you in trouble with YouTube.
Yep. Because it's the written and it's it'll hear.
Loot Hunter said, or how their prime minister looks like Winnie the Pooh. That's right. Oh, Christopher Robin. Anyway, so on June 9th, 2022, he learned that was just today. He learned that other YouTube channels were being penalized because of him. At this point, the YouTuber said he doesn't care if his channel gets banned. He highlighted a few posts on Twitter, and YouTubers had videos demonetized for mentioning the Actman in a video or even his name in the title. The whole situation has his fans furious and upset by YouTube's decisions, and they aren't keeping silent about it.
Yeah, I bet if they referred to him as TAM, it wouldn't get demonetized.
Yeah, probably. So the Actman's fan base speaks out on his behalf on social media. Quite a few tweets blew up on social media with the hashtag Justice for Actman displayed in them. A wide variety of tweets showed their support for the YouTuber. Several Twitter users pointed out the hypocrisy of YouTube making a Pride Month post, but punished someone for calling out a channel allegedly known for homophobic commentary. Don't you do it. I see your face. Don't you fucking do it. So he said, oh, really? Then please explain how you're allowing QuantumTV to stay on your platform and be completely monetized, even though he has outright made homophobic comments on his YouTube channel. You ended the career of someone calling out his homophobia. And this is him retweeting their Pride Month thing. So let's see. Let's go farther down. And look, you can even see like the Actman's hashtag was trending on Twitter.
Is that a white flag?
Where?
On the YouTube tweet.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. What is that?
Is there not I'm pretty sure there's a rainbow flag.
Yeah.
As an emoji.
So another response to that, while they appreciated Justice for Actman movement, they don't see YouTube changing its mind and that the company should just remodel YouTube's HQ into a circus tent. So it says YouTube when they see a video of a cucumber photoshopped into someone's mouth. YouTube when said person who got photoshopped abuses the DMCA system illegally, makes horrifically hateful statements against the LGBTQ community, and ban evades multiple times.
I thought they can make that meme better.
So Optimus, a Facebook gaming partner, I know who Optimus is too, by the way.
Is Optimus Prime?
No, it's just Optimus. His name is Optimus on sub to Optimus. So he said he would call YouTube out personally when his meeting with the social media giant happens. He made it clear that he would not let the platform get away with it if he could help it. Now, you have, so Optimus, he's a YouTube partner, and he's actually going to be in he had a scheduled meeting with YouTube already, and then this happened, and he's going to actually bring it up to them and talk to them about this and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Hey, thanks for the biddies, veteran. How you doing, man? Welcome to the podcast. So Twitter users Robbie Roxas posted a brief summary of the situation as well, which also highlighted that QuantumTV alleged even doxed the YouTuber's mother to try to get the video removed. So it says a good fast sum of the situation also include that QuantumTV spread COVID misinformation and election fraud conspiracies, all of which are against YouTube's community guidelines, and this can't let up. So many are choosing to speak up about YouTube via Twitter, making it clear that the decision was wrong despite the proof of being offered by Actman. The video was removed and QuantumTV's actions were allowed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's really only it remains to be seen exactly how this is all going to play out because
Good Lord.
What was that? Somebody following? Oh, it was the bits. Oh, I didn't remove the sound alerts from this, I don't think.
That was hella delayed.
Well, it's because I was on the article scene. The article scene doesn't have any like overlays or anything. Yeah. Oh yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is no secret that people have been abusing these fucking these strikes and these claims on YouTube for years. YouTube has never done anything about it to fix it, and
it's almost impossible. It sucks because they kind of can't, and just the way that DMCA is so outdated, it's not made for the way we currently have it set up. That's why there's so many issues with it, is because it wasn't written for that. It was written well before YouTube was even a thing. Well before streaming was a thing, like before all of this shit became into play. And
hang on a second. Hang on.
Dated.
Fucking the VA's calling me. God, it was just a scheduling for a follow up for the appointment that I had yesterday, and I'm like, what? I told the doctor.
The sex change is a go?
What?
So the sex change is a go?
It is a go. Yeah, it's a go.
Okay.
But yeah, so like I had my ENT appointment yesterday because I was looking into getting a ballooning procedure done to my sinuses.
What does that even mean? I was just like, what does that mean?
So basically, they put like a little thing up in your sinuses, and they expand it, and they clear all the shit out of it. But he had said instead of doing the procedure, he was going to give me like this medical grade nasal spray to use, and we were going to I was going to call him if I had any improvements. And I guess he put me in for a fucking follow-up appointment anyway. I'm like, what the fuck, man? All right. And yes, too old. I can spell VA. V-A. Dick.
Look at what college is doing for him.
What?
Look at what college is doing for you.
Yeah, I guess. So let's talk about Sonic the Hedgehog.
But why, though?
What? Because there's a new Sonic game coming out. We got to talk about it. Like, what else do you want me to do, bro?
Why is this game being talked about?
Because it's a game, and we are a gaming podcast.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. Okay.
Anyway, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I don't care if you care or not. So Sonic fans...
I'm saying Sonic should have died long ago.
No, Sonic is a good... Listen, that'd be like saying Mario should have died a long time ago.
In some senses, yeah. It's
kind of
like you ruin the class. You ruin the classics at a certain point.
So Sega, I will say this: Sega has had a hard time making a good Sonic game recently, and even with the last few titles.
That's what I'm saying. They're ruining a classic.
So Sonic fans plead with Sega. Let me zoom this in for the blind people. So
Jesus, holy ad.
You have an ad? I don't. So now I do. So Sonic fans plead with Sega to delay Sonic Frontiers after 2 meh trailers. Fans' consensus is gameplay looks like those Mario and Unreal Engine demos, which it really does. That's actually a good that's like a good representation of this. Well, it worked for the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Will it help Sonic Frontiers? The weekend after Sonic Frontiers got its what? Oh,
the first Sonic the movie was delayed because the first one looked like shit.
Exactly, and because people like were saying this looks awful. Can we fix this? So this is their.
What was it? It was his eyes, right? His eyes.
It was like all of it. Do you not even, dude? Do you not remember what Sonic used to look like?
I try not to.
Here, for those that don't know, Sonic.
It was
the Hedgehog movie original design.
Yeah, like it looks fucking terrible,
dude. It looks horrifying.
It was like It was mainly the eyes.
It was
Do
this.
you
It
have
was,
a comparison?
what do you mean? It was mainly the eyes. It was the teeth. That shitty Sonic from the film trailers making a debut in the Chippendale film was a washed up actor. Oh yeah, I have yet to see that movie. I want to watch that. But yeah, this is what Sonic looked like in the original design.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah,
This is him in the Chippendales movie. Oh, it's too small.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this is him in the Chippendales movie.
That's what he looks like?
Yes.
That's fucking horrendous.
Dude, this is what it looked like in the original trailer. And even this shows like the comparison to the redesign. Like, look at this. That's what he did look like, and this is the redesign.
Well, the redesign looks more like the movie.
The redesign
or the game.
That was that was the point. It was supposed to look like more like the game, and everyone was like, "Dude, there's already why would you?" They try to make Sonic look more human, and it looked horrifying.
It did.
What the fuck is this one?
What was the first one? The first one was the one that isn't shit. Okay.
Doc, look at the one that I just pulled up.
I see it.
And it looks that. Can you imagine if this was the design they were originally going to go with?
That's like the hooker Sonic right there.
Oh God. This looks
like if Sonic worked on the corner.
Yeah, this is terrifying. That's a terrifying look.
Sonic's a hooker for rings in that picture right there.
Yeah.
Like not a good hooker either. That's like the Motel 6 hooker.
All right, so the weekend after Sonic Frontiers got its first gameplay reveal, the hashtag Delay Sonic Frontiers was trending on social media, much like the social media backlash that followed the reveal of Sonic's original design for the 2020 live-action film. That was in 2020?
Yeah, it was quite a while ago.
I thought it was in 2019 because I remember seeing it.
That's pretty close.
I remember seeing it.
I think it was supposed to be 2019 and they delayed it.
So, fans are pleading for a mass. What is this? Pleading en masse for Sega and Sonic Team to go back to the drawing board. Following a 7-minute gameplay video for Sonic Frontiers via IGN, fans registered their meh at best reactions, calling out an empty feeling open world that doesn't communicate Sonic's speed as well as linear levels of his 3D design platforming era. Puzzles were rote and bland, and supplementary 7-minute combat trailer did little to excite viewers either. Polygon commenter AirPower summarized the withering consensus of most Sonic fans over the weekend. Great to see the guy who made those Mario Unreal Engine demos getting work.
I never saw those.
I did. They were cool, but they were an independently made thing. So it wasn't really like a big thing. So, and others made the case that fan pressure to reconsider the ugly Sonic revealed early 2019 not only saved that movie, it turned it into a rare critical and commercial success for a video game adaptation. Sonic the Hedgehog had the best opening weekend of any video game film and got a sequel that premiered back in April and is due for a third film plus Knuckles spinoff on Paramount Plus. Now, that is true. Their call to redesign the movie Sonic saved the movie.
Yeah, it did. Because it would have tanked.
So let me show you real quick just what exactly we're talking about here. Sonic Frontiers gameplay.
So the Chippendales one, is that the original one that they redid?
What do you mean?
With the fresh does it look like the one that was redone? Oops. Like pre-redone?
Pre-redone. The Chippendale? Oh no, yeah, that was that showed him Sonic is before they remodeled him.
So that shows that Chippendale was being done at the same time.
No, they did it on purpose.
Why?
As a parody. You got to see the movie because I mean Roger Rabbit's in the fucking movie.
Yeah, but that's Disney though. That's all Disney.
You'll see what I'm talking about. So here's the game, right? So this is what the game looks like.
I have seen this.
So it's like it looks like a very unfinished open world game. It's strange. One of the devs got a hold of the original files from before the reskin. Oh yeah, that's what it was. So you see how like all these little fucking tracks up here?
Yeah.
They have no assets around them. It's just these weird slide tracks. Like everyone's like, what the fuck is this? Let's fast forward a little bit.
When is it supposed to come out?
So
Uh-huh.
this was the gameplay in the beginning of June. I don't know when the reveal is or when the actual game is supposed to come out.
Because I've seen a lot of news talking about Frontier, and I just never cared about it.
So here's him sliding on these tracks and shit. It's just like all these randomly placed rails, and there's also render popping. Like if you watch the game, like you see the popping.
Yeah.
It's just like it's so out of place.
It's like a 3D done platform.
And listen to the audio of this. It just seems strange.
Somebody's gonna buy it though.
Hopefully they just redesign the whole fucking thing. Honestly, they have to. Like
it's because they're trying to make it. They're trying to keep it classic, but also make it an open world type thing, and it's not meshing.
It's not meshing at all.
It doesn't mesh well.
It's just like it just seems poorly put together. Like it's just empty. I was watching this whole trailer.
Yeah.
I watched this whole trailer and I was just like, I would get so fucking bored. I'd be falling asleep at the fucking wheel playing this game.
Yeah, it's because that's exactly what they're doing. They're taking the classic aspect of it and trying to make it more like real world, open world type thing, and it's empty.
It's super empty. I mean, there are enemies in it, but like just there's even going to be a skills tree and everything involved with this, and then like the walking mechanics of Sonic look strange too.
That doesn't look that bad to me.
No, that's him running. Watch when he walks. It's like he's walking on a fucking treadmill and not moving really hardly anywhere. Well, let me get to a slow movement scene.
I thought you were just on one. He was walking around those dudes.
Was he?
Yeah. It didn't look that bad to me. I don't know. I think it does need more though.
See how it's just like he like moonwalks in place.
No, that's just the.
It all looks really off, you know.
They just need more because they can't just have the classical aspect in this type of game if they're doing it.
No,
They've got to add more. They need to add more.
Absolutely need to add more. All right. So I know a lot of you guys are Call of Duty players. So we're going to talk about Call of Duty news.
Only one I want, McDonald's, and I hate myself.
See, that's what I've said. Call of Duty is the McDonald's of video games. And you cannot tell me that it's not.
No, it is. 100%.
It absolutely is. It's like it's
been the McDonald's of video games at least since Infinite Warfare.
Yeah. Essentially. So let's talk about it and be about it.
Maybe BO3 saved it a little bit, but after that, back to McDonald's.
So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 preview. More stealth, new mechanics, and a whole lot of water.
I feel like we got stuff that, like every game, we got things that we're never going to see in the game, or graphics that were like, that's cool, that I'll never see it.
I don't know. Modern Warfare, when it first came out, like if you played the campaign, the graphics for it were pretty good.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty...
Nobody gets Call of Duty for the fucking campaign, though.
I do. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is set to release on October 28th, and Activision gave us an early look at the game ahead of its official reveal event.
When does Warzone 2 come out? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. During the presentation, Infinity Ward highlighted the campaign, multiplayer details players can expect when it launches. Here's everything we've learned so far in this new era of Call of Duty. They always say it's a new era for COD.
It's not.
It's not.
It's a repeated era.
You know, I even said this. I was like, what happened to them taking a year off? And then people got up on my ass. Were saying like, that's next year. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Is it next year?
This was already This one was already in development. It was planned to come out next year. They've said next year there will not be a Call of Duty.
Okay. So a new era of Call of Duty, but still supporting old gen. Some of Activision's marketing describes Modern Warfare 2 as a new era of Call of Duty. When explaining this new era, Infinity Ward explained that the game was designed for state-of-the-art connected gameplay built on one unified engine. This redesigned engine will be shared with Treyarch, Sledgehammer Games, and other co-studios for future Call of Duty titles. So that means everybody's going to be using this new engine that Infinity Ward uses. So that means all other Call of Duties are going to graphically look like Modern Warfare, which is why Warzone looked a little bit more off than the actual like multiplayer and shit. Now everything should be on the same page going forward.
Well, it looked. Well, I think when Warzone came out, it looked like Modern Warfare 2019 because it was basically.
In a way, yes, but when they started adding like the new shit, it started to water down a bit.
It was different, because those were different.
So the developer was quick to add that the shared engine across all studios won't change the overall feel of each release. The future Treyarch developed Call of Duty should still have its own unique style, as should the games from other studios. Despite this new era, Call of Duty still isn't ready to abandon the older platforms. Players will still be able to enjoy Modern Warfare 2 on PS4 and Xbox One, as well as PS5, Xbox Series XS. And Activision also confirmed Call of Duty will be returning to Steam for PC, but Battle.net is expected to still be an option. Oh, you know what? What if it's $70 on Steam, but cheaper on Battle.net?
More than likely, it will. That's probably what it is, because it's gonna. There's been a few YouTubers that have talked about this. It's probably going to still, kind of like how Epic Games does it on Steam. It's just gonna run Battle.net in the background, but it'll be from Steam.
Ah, okay. So when asked about how Modern Warfare 2 will perform on the older gen console, Infinity Ward's co-studio head and creative director Patrick Kelly said he is proud of how the game looks on older platforms. That's what they all say.
Yeah.
That's what they all fucking say. And then when it comes out, it runs like shit. It always does.
They weren't meant. They're porting it there because no one has fucking new gen yet. And I wonder if it's gonna have cross gen play.
It won't.
It
will not. I guarantee you it won't. He added that he believes it still looks better than 2019's Modern Warfare, despite being on older consoles. As if to provide a bit of a tease, Kelly also said during the presentation that Infinity Ward wanted to provide experiences where players of all mode preferences could enjoy the game in the same space. The developer didn't elaborate on what kind of shared experience Modern Warfare 2 might create, but said that more information would be revealed in a later time. A campaign inspired by the real events and Call of Duty's best missions. Modern Warfare 2 follows 3 years after the events of 2019's rebooted Modern Warfare, with Captain Price's iconic Task Force 141 now fully formed and operating around the world. Price is joined by familiar faces of Simon Ghost Riley. I remember when it was just Ghost and not Simon Riley.
Yeah.
Kyle Gaz Garrick and John Soap McTavish. But this newly assembled Task Force 141 also includes a new character, Colonel Alejandro Vargas, because this is going to be taking place in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be like with the cartels and shit.
Yeah, it is.
So Shadow Company, a faction previously introduced in Modern Warfare's post-launch narrative within Warzone, is also being introduced with a campaign in Modern Warfare 2. Shadow Company is a private military contractor run by another character, Philip Graves, who's described as being a valuable ally to Task Force 141. Okay, so all of the fucking enemies from that you played in like Modern Warfare are now teaming up with you in this one.
Well, they said in Warzone, because this one, Shadow Company wasn't part of the original.
No, it wasn't, but they introduced it into Warzone and even in the multiplayer as like the enemy faction.
Yeah, they're like the gaming Blackwater.
Pretty much, yeah. While 2019's Modern Warfare took a more proactive approach with missions like Clean House, Kelly said the direction for the sequel was to focus more on entertainment and fun. Fuck! Dude, so that means like they were like, we're going to push the envelope with Modern Warfare, and now we're going to backtrack it and make it more of an entertaining arcade-style game. And I was afraid that this would happen. Like, the grittiness that was Modern Warfare is what made that game actually pretty good. But now we're going to go back into the whole flashy explosion Michael Bay production bullshit in this one and completely just overlook the grittiness and realism that they tried to implement in Modern Warfare 1.
Because Michael Bay's movies sell.
I know. I fucking hate it, man. Additionally, Kelly said the studio worked to treat sensitive material in the most delicate way possible, but still show reality. The story is fiction, but as Kelly said, it's also inspired by the military events that shape our world. I doubt it.
Did you ever see that? You saw that thing where it had a clip from Black Ops 2 where it's like Black Ops 2 predicted the future?
Yeah, pretty much. While the developer didn't hint at their influences for this year's narrative, the synopsis, which focuses on the aftermath of the U.S. airstrike that kills a hostile foreign general, sounds very reminiscent of the 2020 assassination of Qasem Soleimani. Fuck him, who was an Iranian general killed by American drone strike. Following the death of Soleimani, Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, I can't speak any of this.
You can say these these guys' names, but you can't read regularly.
Yeah, I know. Allahu Akbar! So this guy threatened that severe revenge awaited the criminals behind the attack. Modern Warfare 2's Task Force 141 seems to be fighting back against very similar threats and retaliation, though this is just speculation in my part. So they're speculating this.
Thank you.
So Infinity Ward gave us a preview of a few missions in Modern Warfare 2's vengeance-fueled campaign. All of these levels showcase the typical Call of Duty set pieces that players have come to expect from the franchise, meaning more of those over-the-top chase sequences and stealth missions. However, the developers said that the levels were designed to bring new mechanics and fresh takes on some Modern Warfare's iconic missions. What's going on, military? Welcome to the podcast. Where was I? Oh, however, the developers said that the levels were designed to bring new mechanics and fresh takes on the Modern iconic missions, including the ones that featured stealth and rappelling. Ooh. Additionally, new carjacking.
Trying to be Rainbow Six?
Yeah. Additionally, new carjacking and manhandling mechanics were introduced to the typical vehicle chase set piece. From what we've seen so far, it feels like Modern Warfare 2's campaign could be the greatest hits album with a few interesting remixes. I don't believe them. I don't either. The developer showed off a stealth-based mission called Wet Work. Hey, that's from the original Modern Warfare 2, isn't it? On the
a lot of them
cargo ship.
Yeah, because it has shipment in there in the trailer.
So this one is
shipments coming back,
where Price and Gaz must swim and creep around the docks to clear out a harbor filled with enemies in a nighttime setting. The mission feels reminiscent of the iconic All Gillied Up level from 07 Modern Warfare, but with a focus on knives instead of guns.
I remember All Gillied Up.
Another example is a Convoy, which is Modern Warfare 2's high-speed vehicle mission that adds new movement of Call of Duty's classic vehicle chase sequences. The developer described Convoy as a vehicle sandbox that gives players choice and new ways to engage with the missions. I don't believe that either. Like, it's going to be linear as fuck, and they're gonna make it in some way feel like it's not, even though it truly is.
It's gonna be like Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Players can move to any vehicle in the convoy sequence, choosing to hop onto a driver's seat or climb in the rooftop with vehicle platforming that looked very much like something out of the Uncharted game. Night War, meanwhile, is a nighttime extraction mission with Soap, Ghost, and a team of Marines. Players must work to clear buildings of enemies, and those with keen eye will likely focus Modern Warfare 2's more advanced AI for the NPCs.
You know, I just think it's nice to see that the Marines are making it back into Call of Duty.
Yeah. One of the key features explained by Infinity Ward's lead animator, Mark Grisby, was a focus on more advanced AI from the previous game. Infinity Ward showed examples of the soldier body language used in research to make NPCs grouped with the player to be more actively checking corners and preserving their life. It's worth noting that the newly advanced AI was also mentioned as carrying into all modes, but the developer didn't share specifics on how it might be used across the multiplayer and Battle Royale.
That's actually kind of interesting. You know, I think we had mentioned that, or I mentioned to you that it seems like they're basically copying Battlefield Portal.
Yeah, I think so.
And
but that in what way though? You mean like they're gonna do callbacks to old Call of Duty titles, or like you can make your own map?
Yeah, the make your own map, and it's very similar. Like Exclusive Ace said it too. He's like, it sounds very similar to what Battlefield Portal already is like.
And we'll see
right now. And because you can make your own rules, you can't change the map, but you can implement like your own stuff to it, like how custom games are in a sense, but more like Portal. Yeah. And when I'm thinking about this, the Battlefield director was a previous Call of Duty person. So that also makes sense.
That's also why Battlefield feels the way it does, because
exactly
it feels like Call of Duty now.
They're both in an identity crisis now, where they've got pieces of each other within them now.
See, and this is why it's not a good idea to fucking share developers like this.
And the AI thing made me think, because the AI in 2042 is actually fucking good. Like they almost play like real players. Like they will fuck you up.
Clearly, you haven't played Tarkov. Those
No,
AI will fuck you up.
I'm not. I don't want to play mouse and keyboard.
So mostly familiar multiplayer. Some of the Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer modes were also revealed to us, including Call of Duty's staple modes of Team Deathmatch and Domination. The popular large-scale ground war mode from 2019's Modern Warfare is also returning this year. We were able to get hands-on with all of these, plus 2 new round-based objective modes called Hostage and Knockout. However, our multiplayer impressions will come at a later time. Hostage is a 6v6 mode. What?
Ground War was basically Call of Duty's attempt at main Battlefield.
At Conquest, yeah. Hostage is a 6v6 mode which requires players to take turns either trying to defend or rescue 2 hostages on the map. So Rainbow Six Siege.
Yep.
The match rounds for Hostage can also work like Call of Duty's Search and Destroy objective mode, with a round ending if one team completely wiped out. Of course, players can revive their fallen teammates and get them back in the match to avoid a full team wipe.
Interesting. Knockout
is a mode Infinity Ward described as gunfight meets core multiplayer. I just want them to fix Warzone. Military, they're not going to fix Warzone.
Yeah, especially with Warzone 2 coming out. This Warzone is dead.
This one is like, you're going to get what you get. So this mode features fast rounds and best of 5 match where both teams will fight to grab a hold of a bag of cash. Last team holding the bag of cash wins the round. While gunfight is traditionally 2v2 or 3v3 small-scale mode with 1 life per round, Knockout is a 6v6 mode with the ability to revive teammates. This was likely just a sampling of the modes that MW2 will offer, but players shouldn't expect gunfight at launch. And although Knockout is meant to be the new successor for the 2v2 gunfight, gunfight will return at some point. Weapons and Gunsmith. Players will see a lot of familiar weapons return to MW2. Our time reviewing the campaign missions and playing multiplayer showcased popular offerings with assault rifles like AK-47 and the M4 as well as the MP5. The Gunsmith will return, but it was not available to view in the build of the game we saw during the presentation. Infinity Ward said this Gunsmith will feature more attachments and offer interesting trade-offs between the selection attachments, which sounds like the stat-based pros and cons for each attachment that were used in the previous version of Gunsmith. There was also a mention of an additional option to fine-tune attachments, but the developer was vague on the details, with more information to be revealed at later dates. So essentially, you can fuck with your attachment stats with that individual attachment.
So Exclusive Ace, he got to see this at an early thing, and he like sketched it out real quick because he wasn't able to, DMCA shit, actually have video or clips of it, but he sketched it out basically what it is going to look like. And so on the top, you've got different types of ammunition. It's kind of very similar to how it is now, but separated a little bit. And on the bottom half, you've got like ammo types, magazine size, and something else. On the top, though, there's six or seven different categories, but you can only pick 3. And the one section that he was worried about that is basically going to change how the gun every gun works regardless is it's a sliding scale to where if you want faster aim down sight, you slide it down. If you want faster or better recoil, you slide it up. And there's another one on the side where it's better hip fire. I think it was hip fire or aim stability or something.
So it's a slight adjustment to each stat, but it basically like throws off another stat.
Exactly.
Gotcha. So,
and there's another one where it's a tiered system to where if you say you have an M4, you're unlocking ACOG for the M4, and then you unlock an LMG type M4, which is still an M4, but it's an LMG variant. But if you unlock whatever you unlock for the M4, also unlocks it for the LMG one.
Meta builds are gonna be weird.
Yeah, it's gonna be really complicated. He's worried because he thinks they're gonna overcomplicate things.
I hope they do. It's like, dude, Tarkov. Look at Tarkov.
Yeah,
you have to do research in Tarkov.
I don't think that's good for the COD community though.
Fuck them.
As much as we want it, It's bad for COD.
So when we asked about the maximum number of weapon attachments that you could be added to a gun build, the developer was unable to confirm a specific figure. Infinity Ward game director Jack O'Hara said the decision was leaning more towards having a maximum of 4 to 5 attachments, which isn't on the higher end like Vanguard's customization of up to 10 attachments per gun build. Jesus Christ, really?
It's fucking bullshit, dude. And it transfers into Warzone right now. So Vanguard guns can have one of everything. You can have whatever the fuck you want on there.
That is definitely by design then, because if you really look at like Vanguard and the way that they try to strong arm people into playing other games, they make the newer games iteration of weapons OP compared to the previous versions. So like you have the Modern Warfare guns will not outperform the Cold War guns. And now it's the Modern Warfare guns are basically not viable anymore. And the Vanguard guns are better than the Cold War guns and the Modern Warfare guns because you can add so much more shit to them, and they're just the meta builds just are from Vanguard guns. So that's how that was the one thing they did in Warzone that fucking really pissed me off. Is like they made it to where Modern Warfare shit was no longer viable in Warzone, and to get you to get Cold War in order to, and they said, oh, but you can still get the guns, you know, just by playing just Warzone. It's like, yeah, but you can't really rank them up that well on Warzone. You have to get Cold War to rank them up even more. Otherwise, it's going to be a grind. Same with Vanguard. And that's why I fucking hate this model that they're doing. But anyway, let's move on. So Modern Warfare is set to take a slightly different approach to the weapon customization leveling with platforms, which the developer describes as a family of shared guns and attachments players can unlock. O'Hara further described this as a customization with lots of tree branches. Using one gun should then seemingly unlock similar attachments for guns with the same shared family. So if you use assault rifles, you can unlock assault rifle attachments just by using assault rifles.
Sort of. That's like that's explaining what I was talking about with like the M4, and you get the LMG variant down the line. Everything is unlocked for that you previously unlocked.
So Ground War remains large while traditional maps are scaled back. Ground War maps will no longer be larger pieces of traditional multiplayer locations. Infinity Ward said these separate battle maps built from day one specifically for large-scale modes. Some of the Ground War locations will be small pieces pulled from Modern Warfare 2's map, or Warzone 2's map. One of MW2's battle maps is Sheriff Bay, which is a harbor location with plenty of water for swimming and boat engagements. While other Ground War map we played is Syed, a promenade-style map with tall buildings. For traditional 6v6 maps, we played 3 different locations. Spain is a museum, and fuck that, I don't care anymore. He's just talking about map shit.
Yeah.
Maps, wait.
It's a map. It's a map.
So new equipment, vehicles, mechanics. Regarding multiplayer, Infinity Ward co-design director Joe Sicot, whatever, discussed a focus on emergent play, which is meant to offer a variety of 1v1 engagements. This includes a new underwater equipment to use and vehicle types to control on the playfield.
They're bringing back Dolphin Dive too.
Dolphin Dive?
Yeah, where you dive and lay down.
Oh, they're bringing that back?
Yeah.
Ah, cool. So, some of Modern Warfare 2's new equipment seems to take inspiration from other games. For example, the drill charge equipment works much like the operator skill for Fuse in Rainbow Six Siege. The device attaches to surfaces, drill a hole, and then shoot grenade in the area, which can breach walls and even vehicles to damage enemies or flush them out. Unlike Fuse's cluster charge, players don't have to manually mount the device, as the drill charge is throwable items that players can hurl towards oncoming tanks or nearby buildings. Oh my god, really? So it's basically going to be a lethal, it's like in place of a grenade, you throw it and it goes in and then fucking just does its job.
No skill needed.
The DDoS is a new tactical equipment that will provide an electromagnetic pulse to temporarily disable vehicles. Players will have the option to restart the EMP'd vehicle with a series of button prompts. Field upgrades return with a staple options like dead silence and munitions, but there's also a new inflatable decoy used as a field upgrade. Wow, that's weird.
So we're gonna
have just a bunch of fuck balloons just running around, like just blow up dolls, just like they just all look around like that.
I'm gonna call them Tiffany's. Like I'm putting up a Tiffany.
So this list players deployed an inflatable soldier meant to confuse the enemy team. What about the spray paint though? That worked. Spray paint was pretty good.
Yeah, it did.
Dude, spray
Some
paint
of them did.
was effective. Like people slept on using that. And I remember in Warzone I would spray paint silhouettes all over the fucking place, and then it would walk up confused, like who's the person, and then I'd take them out. So let's see. Much like alibis, decoys, and Rainbow Six Siege, so the decoys will have poses depending on where they are deployed, with swimming pose used for those deployed in water. And speaking of water, swimming mechanics are confirmed to be returning to Call of Duty. The developer talked a lot about water and tackling the challenge of adding realistic water across the modes.
Nobody cares about realistic water.
No. Oh, bullshit, they don't. Realistic water looks good. Players will be able to go for a dip in multiplayer modes with the future Warzone map, but underwater gunfights will feel a bit different. Infinity Ward said that water will have an effect on weapon ballistics, slowing down the bullets and reducing damage to require more bullets to kill underwater.
That's cool. I like that.
Additionally, MW2 will feature additional options for movement. Players can still choose slide, which is a popular movement ability across from the past COD games. We'll also bring back the option to dolphin dive, like you were saying, so diving instead of sliding. Furthering the movement options, players will also be able to mantle and hang from ledges. This also works for players parachuting into a map during a match of ground war, allowing them to grab onto a nearby ledge. Spec Ops. No one ever plays Spec Ops.
They used to be really good.
It used to be cool. Now it's not.
Well, so the Modern Warfare, the reason for it was they made it so fucking hard. Like just the base mode, the skill level was ridiculous. I played it twice, and
what was this? What was it again?
The Spec Ops.
Oh yeah.
From 2019, like it was a struggle.
I mean, yeah, it's a horde mode game mode, so it's like with like specific missions.
What was MW3 Survival? I think
something like that. It was similar to Spec Ops but different. Yeah,
Survival was amazing. I loved that. I wish they would bring that version back, because Modern Warfare 3 Survival was phenomenal.
See, the thing about 2019's Modern Warfare Spec Ops mode was that they released it a year for if you were on if you were on PlayStation, you got it almost like you got it at a certain time, and then everybody
right at launch.
Huh?
I think it was right at launch.
No, it wasn't at launch. It was a little bit after launch, and then but it was exclusive for PlayStation. And a year later, everybody else got it.
They did the same thing for Black Ops.
I know, and it's like, why would you put a mode out that no one's going to be playing a year from now?
Yeah, because the new COD at that time, the new COD will be out by then.
Yeah. So enough Call of Duty news. We're going to talk about Abandoned, because this is.
Wait, it went to Warzone 2 details.
It did?
Yeah, it says Warzone 2 details.
That looked like the end of the article for me. Hang on.
Well, it said Spec Ops and Warzone 2 details.
Let me open it back up. Fuck.
Fail.
What was
Spec Ops is like the first.
Hang on, let me pull up the article again. Just give me a second. Fuck me.
2009 Spec Ops. That's interesting.
All right, let's look at this.
Might as well just read the whole thing.
Wait, no, this was the Spec Ops. I said after Spec Ops, sounding like I don't care, and that was at the very end.
Yeah, but it has Warzone 2 is in there as well.
Does it? How far down?
Yeah. That's like the third paragraph.
I don't see it.
What article are you on?
The same one I gave you. Spec Ops. Oh, Warzone 2 details. Yeah, okay. I thought it was just Spec Ops. See, Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2, I thought it said Modern Warfare 2 details, so I was just like, I don't care. And then, yeah, so I overlooked that. So I'll skip over the Spec Ops shit. So while few details were shared regarding the Battle Royale sequel, it's worth noting that the developer mentioned Warzone 2 might not be the final name for the Warzone sequel.
Interesting.
The Battle Royale is confirmed to include the same vehicles, swimming, mantling, and mechanics from MW2, but it's still uncertain whether this next iteration will be a 100% clean slate or include weapons and skins from previous titles, which I think after this they did say that it was going to be a complete reset.
Yeah.
So additionally, the presentation confirmed that Warzone was coming to mobile platforms, but we didn't receive any details about the upcoming mobile iteration. Activision also confirmed pre-orders of Modern Warfare 2 would include early access to the game's up-and-coming beta.
Suck my dick.
But no start dates or further details have been provided. Infinity Ward's topics of shared play. Fuck you, Activision. I don't care anymore. God damn.
No, don't pre-order. Don't do it.
If I swear to God, do not pre-order this game. If you guys play Call of Duty, cool, but don't pre-order it, because if it ends up launching and ends a bag of shit, you're going to be fucking kicking yourselves. And this just pre-ordering reinforces the whole launch now, fix later thing that they do. And these betas aren't betas. They're demos. They're demos of what you're going to get. I keep saying this. Battlefield 2042, and Doc, you even argued with me on this one, that the game that we got in the beta is going to be really damn close to the game that we're going to get at launch. And there's not going to be very much difference. And I was right.
See, I still think that that's not true, but it definitely wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
It was true. Betas are not what you think they are. Betas are demos. Like, betas are often put out about a month before the game comes out, and there's only so much that you can fix in a month. Like, especially when there's like core fucking issues with the game, they should have delayed it a whole year. Like,
the good thing about this is
no, Ghost, don't pre-order.
I was thinking about this I think earlier today, that Infinity Ward has actually had all of the time since Modern Warfare 2019 to work on this game. You
would think, honestly, think, but of these new mechanics they want to introduce, like those are new. Like some new things that they're putting into the game. It's like you don't have much time to check it and see if it works. So
yeah, but I'm saying like when Black Ops Cold War came out, Treyarch, one, they took over for that game, and then two, they had just made the one before Modern Warfare came out, so they were not ready for that. That's why that game came out so fucking shit.
So Ghost Stabber asked, "What if someone gifted it to me?" This is what I will say. Spread the word to your friends to not pre-order the game, and in order to make sure that no one gifts you a pre-order to the game. So just spread the word to not pre-order games. Pre-ordering games sets a precedent to the game developer and the publisher. Mostly the publisher, that you will buy the game no matter what the state is before you've even got it. Would you pre-order a car before knowing how reliable it is?
Like before test driving?
Before test driving it? Essentially, that's what you're doing with a game pre-order. You are buying something before you know how good it is. Cyberpunk 2077 was a good example of why you shouldn't do it. Battlefield 2042 is a good example of why you shouldn't do it. Call of Duty Vanguard was a good example of why you shouldn't do it. I could go back as far as 2015 and even farther than that of why you should not pre-order games.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes like all the way back to like when the PS4 first came out. Like hell, even before then, when the PS3 was out, Battlefield 3 when you pre-ordered, or Battlefield 4 when you pre-ordered Battlefield 4, you got the game, and the game was a dumpster fire at launch. Granted, they had a lot of stuff, and it was in that in between of new gen and old gen, so you had that. But pre-ordering games is essentially buying something before you know how good it really is. I pre-ordered both Vanguard and Cold War and don't even play them anymore. Exactly, because Modern Warfare is the best COD since 2019. Here's what I'll say. When you pre-order games, you're essentially buying something before you know how good it really is. And then you don't play it. Like you even said, you pre-ordered both Cold War and Vanguard, and you don't even play them anymore because they're not good. And then you end up being like, I wish I never bought that. So don't pre-order them.
I remember when pre-orders started becoming a thing, because it basically, at first it started to mean that you could pre-order, you would secure your spot to be able to get it like at launch first, like when you were standing outside fucking GameStop and that long ass line.
It was in order to get it before it sold out. That was essentially how pre-orders started, and now it's to get you to feel like because now they're incentivizing you by giving you some extra little things here and there, and making you feel like your pre-order is justified because you don't want to miss out on that stuff. And not only just that, but like you want these extra things in the game that the pre-orders give you. But in the end, they're not really that, and they're not that good. What's going on? What up, Longshot? How you doing, man? We're doing the episode right now, so just bear with us. Did they reveal the release date for it? Yes, they did. October 28th. No idea of when the beta is going to be. I remember waiting at GameStop for everything that I had, like all these games.
But that was back when you did pre-order, it had a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you could secure a physical fucking copy before that shit was gone.
Well, here's
that made sense.
Now you're talking about the Modern Warfare 2 2012. Modern Warfare 2 came out in 2007, 2008.
No, he's talking about Modern Warfare 13 or Modern Warfare 3.
Modern Warfare 3. And
actually, that's 2011. Black Ops 2 came out in 2012.
Yeah, okay. So stop pre-ordering the games. Just wait till you see how the game is, and then make your decision if you want to buy it. That's the last thing I'll say about that. So let's move on to the next topic because we don't have a lot of time left. So Abandoned. This is a game by Blue Box that we've covered before because, Blue Box keeps dropping the ball about showing a reveal when in actuality the reveal has been showing you the same thing that they've been showing you for fucking the entire announcement of the game.
You know what they're doing? They're giving us blue balls on this game.
Oh my god! Oh my god, that's a good one. You fucking jagaloon. So, sources told GameSpot that Blue Box is making little progress as its lead developer shares uninspiring teases and flip-flops the truth with an exclusive fan chat room he organized. Hey, you didn't do the dishes yet, did you?
Crazy ex-girlfriend.
You did, didn't you? I told you I was going to do them. I'm sorry.
You're apologizing to your woman on stream?
Yeah. Anyway, so it's been over a year since Abandoned was first announced on the PlayStation blog, and by now you may have heard about the controversial game in one of its several very different contexts. Shortly after its reveal, some fans began speculating that the game was a secret Hideo Kojima project, perhaps even his return to the Silent Hill franchise after releasing PT 8 years ago. I will say this, Kojima is actually working on a completely different game, though.
Yeah. It's rumored to be something else, too.
It's been a minute since I waited, so it's a while back. Hey. So, seeking to counter the claims, others pointed to Blue Box Game Studios' well-documented and lackluster development history, arguing that Abandoned is just another in a long line of games announced by the studio that will never see a release. A lead developer on the project, Hassan Karaman, has said Abandoned is exactly what he always said it was. An indie survival horror about a lone survivor stuck in the woods with a cult. However, in the past year, onlookers have also seen it become a game about a rampant, super intelligent AI. More recently, it was said to be a game about vampires. As it stands, there is no meaningful evidence that Abandoned exists in any real way, though there's a long trail of dubious business deals, uninspiring leaks, and a chat room full of fans, including at least one child, where the game's lead developer has misled for a captive audience for months. Despite once being planned to be released on the PS5 in the fall of 2021, several people close to Karaman tell GameSpot that there is no game, at least not one that is actively being worked on. The reason for that isn't as fun as being part of some long-con Kojima ARG like fans once suspected. In reality, those close to Karaman tell GameSpot, despite Karaman's public claims that the game's development is coming along, he has privately admitted Abandoned is on hold for and he first needs to fund its development with a playable prologue, which our sources indicate he doesn't seem to be in a hurry to create. We all do more podcasts as the drop date gets closer. I mean, we do a podcast every week, Ghost. So keep an eye out for it. It won't be on here though. You can find me on YouTube though, the Blacklisted Gaming Podcast.
And blacklisted.com.
That's not the website.
That's not the website? Oh,
nope.
Well, disregard.
It's Blacklisted. Do you want me to here? How'd you post that link?
Just www.whatever.com. You have to put www.
Blacklisted-gaming.com here.
Ah, that's where I fucked up. I don't have a command for it in this channel, so
there, right there. That's the website. So, despite once being planned, I already read that. So, interviews with more than half a dozen people who have close contact with Karaman since September 2021 have detailed a picture of a game in disarray and a developer who promises a lot, including paid work for fans, but delivers very little.
Sounds like every developer.
Pretty much. 2 months after Abandoned's original reveal invited a brief spark of fan theories, Karaman shared a since-deleted tweet from Blue Box's Twitter account that said a reveal was closing in and offered a hint at the game's real name that starts with an S and ends with an L. And this is why this is like reinforcing the fucking Silent Hill theories, even though it's not a Silent Hill game, nor is it Hideo Kojima. By overly leaning into the Silent Hill speculation, Karaman reignited the theory that there was more to this game than players were initially led to believe, and so began the Summer of Abandoned. Multiple Discord servers, subreddits, and other forums were created with the sole purpose of trying to find the proverbial curtain Kojima and or Konami were hiding behind. So Blue Box put out Guess the Name. Abandoned equals first letter S, last letter L. Reveal closing in, PS5 exclusive, blah, blah, blah. So it's not an unreasonable belief after all. It's something Kojima had done twice before. First, when he briefly hid behind the fake studio Moby Dick and used a stand-in developer with a pseudonym Joaquin Mogren to sell the charade, before revealing that he was behind the stunt and the team's game was actually his next project, Metal Gear Solid 5, under Konami. Later, PT was attributed to the 7780s. Another studio invented a whole cloth so Kojima could surprise players with a playable teaser that was actually teasing a long-awaited Silent Hill sequel.
Stop lying to us. Just give it what you're gonna fucking make.
So Kojima actually was working on a Silent Hill game with Norman Reedus, and Konami nixed it and got rid of him. So PT never, like, this game that he was actually trying to work on never saw the light of day because of Konami. So for a few days, Abandoned could have arguably passed for another Kojima ruse. But as theories around Abandoned grew more outlandish each day, forums began to express, what's that word? Pareidolia?
Where are you at?
Right here. A wish-fulfilling drive to find patterns in which they don't exist. These numerous patterns have all been well documented and already debunked, but what is important is not that fans gather to discuss the game, but that Karaman seems to have been there too, following the community he helped create as he tirelessly crafted theories about the true nature of his indie game. Over time, he seemed to bend the direction of his game and its concept to retrofit what fans were saying. When they thought it was Silent Hill, he released a brief teaser to the game's strange, almost featureless standalone app on the PS5 that includes music very much like that of Silent Hill's longtime composer, Akira Yamaoka. When the fans thought he was teasing a Metal Gear Solid project, he reworked the horror story centered on a cult to instead focus on a fourth wall breaking AI program and secret government cover-ups. There are many things still mysterious about Blue Box, such as who else is on the team. Karaman has said roughly 50 people, including outsourcing studios, are working on Abandoned. The Dutch Chamber of Commerce confirmed the GameSpot Blue Box was founded in 2015 with 10 employees. To date, Blue Box's registration with the Chamber of Commerce has never been updated to reflect different number of employees. Though a representative told GameSpot it is the business's responsibility to update details such as this. This is a long article.
Yeah.
How much time do I fucking have?
Not enough for this article.
No. I'm trying to highlight the points that this game doesn't exist.
I feel like it's already pretty.
So let me see here. One person told GameSpot that Karaman admitted to keeping some people in the group just so that they wouldn't leak things, and he had previously shared with them. He took to sending voice messages with sources felt was a strategy used by him to avoid screenshots of conversations being taken. This is where the most egregious things were said, according to the source. He left at least one member feeling hurt and others frustrated and confused at how they could say one thing publicly and another in private in his inner circle. So he was trying to keep this shit tight-lipped, and people are saying that he's not actually working on this game.
Go to the last, or the third to last paragraph. It starts with sources say Karaman.
Hang on, I'm trying to get there. So sources say Karaman eventually admitted to the PSN group that Abandoned is not in development, but to this day maintains that a playable prologue is, which apparently it's not. As previously mentioned, the sales of the prologue are intended to fund the full game and attract investors. But the materials he shared with the private group have only caused confusion. He would promise play tests, sometimes to even just one person in the group, but no play tests were ever actually presented. Some members had a running joke that the game should be called wall abandoned because so much of what Karaman has showed them were in-game walls and nothing more. Those close to the situation question how much progress is actually being made on even the prologue. A major obstacle.
You want to see my fucking wall?
Check out my walls, bro. A major obstacle in that regard is how the game has been reimagined several times, from cult horror to action game and back to new vampire concept that one source said sounded like a Resident Evil ripoff. In June of 2021, he told GameSpot that a multiplayer beta was on the way, but no such beta has ever come to be. And sources say among the inner circle, it seems Karaman has stopped talking about multiplayer and abandoned. Most recently, it's said that the game is back to telling a story about a cult, but it seems not to matter. Those who spoke to GameSpot say that he never appears to be working on the game or its prologue. Since last fall, he has often been chatting with the group about playing Siege straight through the night, and those close to the situation feel the time of meaningful progress doesn't seem available. They expect Abandon to end up like the last several games announced by Blue Box, discarded after little progress and without much more than a reveal trailer. His past games were virtually scrubbed from the internet, and this one would seem destined to be having the same fate. Only this time, and for the first time in his career, Karaman has an audience for his game of smoke and mirrors, and it's one that seems unable or unwilling to manage.
Like he just doesn't want to admit that it's not happening.
I'm fixing to hop on some Overwatch and grind out ranks. All right, thanks for hanging out, Ghosts. Have fun on Overwatch, buddy.
It just seems like he doesn't want to admit that it's not happening, it's not a thing, or that it was a failed project.
It probably is a failed project, and he's just not working on it. He's like empty promises, reveals that go nowhere and shit, and it's just going to be scratched. So this next topic, which is our final topic of the evening, is fucking weird. It is so weird, and it's like conditioning kids to NFTs and the metaverse, right? So we did discuss this, and I even told you about this before we went live, Doc, is that how this just feels creepy. So what is it that we're talking about? Former Nickelodeon president's new show is preparing kids for the metaverse. With adults turning away from the metaverse, its advocates are looking to younger audiences. And these younger audiences are like young children, like toddlers and shit.
Yeah, because their minds are formable and stuff.
So the journey towards the metaverse has taken a strange new turn. As young adults increasingly turn away from the metaverse and its various scams, the metaverse has now taken aim at a much younger audience. Mimo Studios, headed by former Nickelodeon president Seema Zargami, has announced plans to make a YouTube series that will use Web3 extensions to prepare kids for a world full of NFTs.
What is Web3?
It's a program. It's basically like designing programs and shit. So Variety reports that the show, titled At Hippo Park, is aimed at preparing young children for consuming content and games in the metaverse. The web series will feature episodes that range from 15 seconds to 1.5 minutes, with each episode posted where kids are currently consuming content, which apparently is YouTube.
So it's probably going to be on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
As well. Well, so, I mean, technically that goes to the page, but it's going to be a short based on that.
Essentially,
because that's like the new popular thing.
Hippo Park is described as a place where you can splash, climb, run, slide, and play with your friends all of the time.
Wow.
You might see a hippo, you might pilot a plane, you might grow your own garden, you might dance in the rain. It's your neighborhood park, just steps from your door. It's filled with your favorites, your friends, and much more. I want to die just reading that. So the show is entirely created in Unreal Engine and will be built from the ground up to use Web3 extensions, although it will first launch in Web 2 form, where we are now.
This isn't the first metaverse thing that's been built, or like video or whatever, that's used the Unreal Engine either.
No, it's not. It's pretty popular. It will be the first show of its kind to allow the community to contribute to the IP through first-of-its-kind NFT and content for kids projects. How children will create their own NFTs hasn't been made clear. What's up, Kazi? Mimo offered framework to make kids and families feel comfortable navigating within the space. That framework includes respect to the community, especially kids, assume the audience is younger than they are, encourage kindness and empathy, inspire creativity, celebrate diversity, visible and invisible. What's invisible diversity?
Good question. Like creative differences, maybe?
And this dude says, yes, inspire creativity through algorithmically generated content in a completely unregulated industry where safety is seemingly taken back seat to get rich quick schemes. Throw some preschoolers into the mix and what could possibly go wrong?
Wow.
So did we get our rosters set for the esports teams? That is the question that you should probably put in questions for staff, Kazi, because that's like veteran gaming league stuff, and I honestly don't know about the esports rosters. Invisible diversity refers to the characteristics that cannot be readily seen, such as disability, region, sexual orientation, military experience, social economic background, marital status, non-origin, and more. Nation, origin, and more.
Military, so it's like it's not discriminating against.
Did you just assume my service?
It's not discriminating against the people that have deployed versus not deployed, or that like say that Oki is a deployment or what have you.
Kuwait is a deployment. Fucking God. And this is weird. This shit is fucking weird. Because now you're getting kids involved with this NFT blockchain shit, and it just seems exploitative in a way. It just seems like a way to make money off of children. We're going to have these little kids make our NFTs for us, and then we're going to sell them for fucking hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And these kids won't see a damn thing of it.
I see this as they're almost like indoctrination, I don't say, but they're using the kids that are also going to be the ones that are doing the programs for all this, or they're going to be creating all this stuff. So they've got to already be invested and bought into it by the time that they're old enough to do all that shit. So they're like, oh yeah, that's some cool shit. We got to do this. And they're doing all the coding and framework, whatever for it. You see what I mean?
Yeah. It's fucking creepy. It's super creepy. It's like I see this becoming an exploitative thing. You know?
It can be. Much like anything else.
It's much like anything else, but now that you have kids involved, it's like it makes it even more grimy. Because it's like NFTs were already like one of those things where even within Regiment, we were just like, NFTs are fucking, like remember, what was it like last week? We got fucking bot rated by like 100+ NFT accounts.
Yeah.
And it was just like a day-long fight to get rid of them.
Don't click links, people.
Yeah, don't if you guys ever don't click links that people send you. I mean, shouldn't have to keep saying it, but honestly, like we should, but like don't click the links from random people because they'll hack your shit.
Honestly, sometimes don't click links even from people that you do know.
Well, and then the other thing with NFTs, it is extremely unregulated and
right now,
very unsecure, because look at the example that me and Nelson talked about in the last episode, where Seth Green was going to make a Netflix series out of an NFT character. What?
That was me and you.
Was it me and you?
That was me and you.
Oh, that was me and you. Sorry. So it was like back to the Seth Green thing when his NFTs got stolen, right? And he no longer held the rights to use that NFT for the show. It's a slippery slope. You know what I mean?
But it's because it was based off of a picture NFT again.
It was based off of a picture NFT.
I think it was in the Discord that me and you were talking about it. It's physical NFTs, at least right now, can still be viable.
What is a physical NFT?
I told you. So
like a painting?
Yeah, that's a physical NFT. That's the most obvious thing that I can think of. And like some music, the beat that Tom McDonald bought from Eminem to do the song Dear Slim, that was an NFT from Eminem.
I don't think that was called an NFT until now. That's just copyrights. That's just rights.
Well, so what makes it an NFT is if he were to sell that beat, Eminem would also get uh, money
Royalties from
for it.
that, yeah. So like, but
That's the difference.
this whole digital fucking thing is just so dumb, and like the way that game companies are even using them is just so.
I think that there is a way, because I don't really truly understand a lot of it. I've just seen some, I've heard and seen some good, legitimate explanations and examples of them. It's just the way that they're being done right now is very exploitative, especially in the gaming market for
Absolutely,
this example. But
absolutely.
we're struggling to find the legitimacy behind it and how to implement it. Until it's more regulated, it's going to be just a scam fest right now.
Hell yeah, it is. Smurfs on Overwatch are amazing. It's fun to
What does
watch
that mean?
them. So, chat. Let's go to you guys and get your opinions on all these topics that we discussed. If you stuck around for the entire podcast, so what are your thoughts on all of these topics that we talked about? So we talked about Sonic. We talked about Diablo Immortal. We talked about this weird, creepy fucking NFT thing. Modern Warfare 2 stuff. That abandoned game. What are you guys' thoughts on all this? It's weird because that abandoned game keeps popping up randomly. It's so fucking weird, and it's like it's one of those games that I honestly don't believe we're ever gonna see it. It's never gonna happen.
Do you think so? Let's say, do you think there's people? Is he making money off of this to be able to quote unquote make it? Because that sounds very similar to the Star Citizen.
See, well, the thing is with Star Citizen, you can actually play it. Like it exists.
Remember in the beginning, you said there was a developer guy.
This is what happened with the Star Citizen thing. So the guy, the lead director of development and the basically the guy that was spearheading the whole thing, it was a crowdfunded game, and he was pocketing the money for the crowdfunding, and developers weren't getting paid, and the money was going straight to him, and there was no progress being made on the game. Well, they caught him doing this. They got rid of him, and they put somebody else in, and now we have a game that we can play.
And that's what I mean. I wonder if it's similar to that, where people might be paying for this or something, and he's just taking all the money and nothing's actually.
From what it sounded like in the article, it seemed like that he wasn't relying on crowdfunding, but he was more relying on like funding from like other, outlets like sponsorships and partnerships and all that stuff. And like getting funded by companies versus getting funded by the people that want to play the game. Because that was the biggest thing with Star Citizen. You had people that were dropping tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars for Star Citizen, and there wasn't even a game to play. And yeah.
That's been, what, 10 years in the making?
Not that long, no. Oh, yeah, actually, I think it has been. Star Citizen's been in the makings for, let's see, how long? Let's check. Star Citizen, been in development. 11 years.
11 years. So, 2011. First time chatter, you quit COD over a year ago because of cheaters. I don't blame you.
I don't care about the old-fashioned weapons. Yeah, I mean, I quit COD. I remember I was on stream when I quit Call of Duty. I was playing, and
we were playing together.
It got to the point, dude, where I was like, whenever I was streaming, I was dreading going live to play it, and I was like, I don't want to fucking play this game anymore, man. I'm not having fun. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's just so. It was fun for a while. I will say the Warzone got us through COVID. It was something to do. We looked forward to getting on and playing with the boys because we couldn't do anything else. But the other thing that sucked was that there wasn't really anything else launching. So that's all we really had. And then it just started getting worse and worse, and every update was worse than the last, and it never fucking got better. And these decisions that they kept making at the corporate level, and especially with the cheaters part, and the one thing that finally broke it for me was that when cheaters started hacking unlocks, like if you killed a cheater, you unlocked fucking everything.
Mm-hmm.
They jumped on that within a day. They fixed that. It was like, because it was hurting their store. So when there was cheaters exploiting the store, then they fixed it, which showed me they could do something about the cheaters. They just actively chose not to.
Yeah.
So when it threatened the money is when they actually took action. But they didn't do anything else. So it was like, fuck the player base. We only give a fuck about money, which I knew from the beginning. But I was like, I can't play this anymore, man. This shit's driving me nuts, and it's pissing me off that they're even that it's even at this level to where they don't give a fuck about its player base anymore. Even Nick.
And the bad part about it was you were able to, because it's free to play. You keep getting these new accounts, and they would always keep boasting about how many new players they got, how many new accounts and everything. And everyone's like, yeah, because anyone that actually does get banned just makes a new fucking account.
Within minutes of talking about we banned this many players, they immediately boasted about we just gained this many new players. It's like, that's all your fucking hackers, man. Like, you literally just reinforce the point that you don't do shit about hackers and you don't have a proper anti-cheat. And even still, this anti-cheat doesn't really do too much. It does some compared to what it used to, but it's not enough. There's still fucking cheaters in the game.
There's a lot of cheaters in the game now. Basically, the main thing that it takes away is there's far less aimbot, and now it's mostly wall hackers.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is with Tarkov. You have aimbots and wall hacks, but like games like Tarkov, Hella Loose, all these like strategy and tactical shooters, the hacks are harder to detect because you don't have a way of seeing the other player that gets you. You just die, and then you come back, or you die and you lose everything.
Yeah.
So Nichols said, I switched to Apex, haven't looked back, but I'll play Modern Warfare 2 and all the hostility in Activision. Here's what I'll say. I don't think you were here when I mentioned this, but don't fucking pre-order Modern Warfare. Don't do it.
Yeah. Just buy it when it comes out.
I don't care if they tell you that they're going to give you a free blowy with a fucking pre-order. Don't pre-order it. Because they try to incentivize these pre-orders. They did the same thing with the Modern Warfare remaster they did with the Modern Warfare remaster. If you pre-ordered Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, that was the only way at the time to get the Modern Warfare remaster. Was if you
released it anyways.
And they released it, and they ended up releasing it anyways, and then everyone's like, so why the fuck did I pre-order this and buy a game I did not want to play?
Because they knew the sales were going to be bad.
They knew it would. Can I play you guys? Use TeamViewer and set up my stream. I already have an overlay and stuff. I just need set up.
Check the Discord, because there are some guys, and there's a GFX area in Discord that you can set up some things from people. You can have some stuff get made for you.
Also, if you need help actually setting up your overlays and stuff, like, people will do that for you in there.
Like tech support would be a good area too.
They did it with the Kong and Godzilla. They did it for the skins. That's the thing, Nichols. Like, Activision knows that the Call of Duty player base will pay for its stupid shit because they know you want a certain thing, so they're going to put it behind another thing. It's the same way I mentioned about Cold War. When it came to Cold War guns, they made them the meta. And in order to rank up your Cold War guns, you needed to play Cold War. Well, nobody wanted to play that. Everyone fucking hated it. And I even said, and like, me and you, Doc, have talked about this. Whenever we get we get like background information about these games and the development that they're going through. When it came to Vanguard, or when it came to Cold War, it went through development hell because it lost its original developer, and then Treyarch had to jump in to fix it. And you had, 3 studios working on one game together, and it ended up being the mess that it was. Vanguard started development so late because Sledgehammer was spearheading Cold War. The guys that made Vanguard were creating Cold War. And the development cycle was not going well. The studios were not getting along. Things were going bad. And Sledgehammer decided to step away and start creating Vanguard right around several months before Cold War released. That's when Treyarch stepped in. So when Treyarch stepped in, it was during that whole fucking thing. It was a nightmare. And I knew right away, I said, they're using the Black Ops 4 engine. So it's not going to look the same. It's not going to feel the same. It's going to feel like an outdated game. And I said that months before like it came out. And that the developers were like, they changed the developers last minute, and they were basically throwing in new assets. It was going to be the same way for Sledgehammer with Vanguard. They were making a World War II game, which actually wasn't originally was their intention. And that's why, and we got Vanguard. Vanguard is what it is because Sledgehammer was working on that game at the absolute last minute, They weren't developing as long as they said they were. Don't care what anyone fucking says about it. So stop pre-ordering these games keeps feeding the fire that gives you these types of shit.
The only thing that was good about Cold War was the zombies. That's really it. The zombies was honestly phenomenal.
Yeah.
To this, like one of the best zombies around.
Well, yeah, the zombies was good, but the zombies in every fucking Treyarch game has always been pretty good.
Yes, but this one has been like has been basically their best one.
So yeah,
they also did technically, unfortunately, because they didn't have much time to do it, but they did the zombies in Vanguard too.
They did.
But that's why it sucked, because they didn't have any time to fucking develop it.
You know, we do have a little bit more time. Let's talk about one more thing here.
That's why I said this game could have a potential of being decent, because Infinity Ward is the only developer that's had all of their proper time to make the game without any interruptions or jumping in or taking over. They've had all of the time to be able to fucking make the game.
Yeah, I mean, they need more time. They need to stop doing this yearly release shit and finally just take a fucking break.
I mean, they are.
Pre-ordering isn't worth it. They gift you skins and weapons. That's nothing, but that's it. Nothing else. And like the early access shit. That's essentially all you're doing. You're paying for the same fucking shit.
Oh, and they said early access to the open beta. So basically, you don't have to fucking pre-order. You're still gonna get to play the beta. You're just gonna get to play the beta for 2 days extra.
Yep.
Whoa.
This was a topic that somebody mentioned to me in the Discord, was talking about 343 delaying their roadmap again.
Oh, for Halo?
For Halo, yeah.
Oh, Halo's been a shit show.
Hell yeah, it's been a shit show.
It started off so well, and it's been nothing but downhill from there.
Well, this delay was a while ago. I think I've actually talked about this before on the podcast.
They added snipers into snipers only mode.
Oh my god!
They added
snipers only mode has snipers.
I said that wrong. They added guns that aren't snipers into snipers only mode. Like it just doesn't make sense. You ask some tech support, awesome. Someone that's smarter than myself or Brock will probably answer you.
Yeah. You asked tech support too about the your overlay shit. Thanks for letting me join the Discord, of course. Yeah, so like I said before, guys, stop pre-ordering these fucking games. You're just incentivizing them to do this half-ass work just to release the game fucking unfinished and lacking of content. You're gonna hate it. And like it's the same with Call of Duty. Like you're gonna hate it. I know you're gonna like the next one. I think the next one might be the only one that's not bad. But like, stop! Don't pre-order it.
They still haven't said when Warzone 2 is releasing.
I know they haven't. Oh, well,
they're like skirting the question.
Honestly, I think it's going to release a month after launch. Something similar to how Warzone.
Warzone didn't launch till March.
Yeah, the game came out in November, so it was November, December, January, February, March. So 4 months. I can't imagine that Warzone's going to take nearly that long this time.
I absolutely think it will, because they'll use it as an excuse to launch the new one on the anniversary date.
I see your point.
Because that's what they did for Caldera. They waited till the anniversary date of Warzone to launch the new map.
I sincerely hope they don't do that, but I don't put it past them, honestly.
I think they will.
That's another reason not to fucking pre-order this game. Like, play it, and then just wait, and then play it, do the campaign, do some multiplayer, get used to the mechanics, and then just fucking put it down. Because if you're getting this to solely play Warzone, which everyone is probably gonna do, and they're gonna fucking hate it, because they're gonna be like, "Where's Warzone? Hey, where's Warzone?" I mean, Warzone's such a bad state. Even Nick Merckx quit.
Yeah,
he plays Apex now.
I know. I can't. I'll never do Apex. I just can't.
It's fun. Apex is a funny one for me because Apex, was actually the first story that we did on our first ever episode. Apex was not even announced. I saw it on a YouTube video where someone was saying apparently EA has got a free-to-play battle royale game coming out by Respawn, the guys that made Titanfall, and it's going to be in the Titanfall universe. It's going to be called Apex Legends. So, and I talked about that. I even brought it up to someone. They didn't believe me. And now look at it. Apex is a thing. My first ever story was about Apex and then an Anthem review. And Apex, nobody believed me that Apex was real. I love the first Titanfall. Both Titanfalls were good. They were good because they were their own little thing.
That's why people hacked Apex and put save Titanfall.
Yeah, I know.
I can't do. I just can't. The TTK for me. The TTK is fucking outrageous.
Yeah, I know it is. So
I've just been on Fortnite no build.
I've been playing Tarkov and Hell Let Loose, and I tried playing Enlisted, and I hated it, dude. I could not play it. It was not fun. It was just. Then again, like somebody came into my stream and was just like saying, "I'm sorry that you're going through this. This is not how the game really is," because it was extremely. Dude, I had 130 something kills.
I remember when you played it.
I had 130 something kills and 7 deaths, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I was walking up and like knifing everybody, and they were like shooting at me and missing, and I'm like, "What is going on?" And it was all bots. Like the whole lobby was filled with bots, and there was 4 actual players, 2 on each side. And that's the game's way of introducing new players to the game, was by getting you in these crazy bot lobbies that, like, you know, make you have this weird sense of, and it's a free to play game. So it's monetized to fuck. It's got loot boxes, daily rewards, all the extra monetization bullshit you see in a free to play game, a battle pass, all that shit. And like, it's just, progression feels slow. It's one of those games, and I was like, I don't like this game. I hate it.
What was the game that we played a little bit that had the in-game procs chat that no one fucking used?
Oh, Insurgency Sandstorm.
Yeah, that game's dead.
No, it's not. On PC, it's fine.
Yeah,
on console, it's not. On console was the problem because you had people going into their party chats.
Exactly.
And communicating, and they would never, and they would and people that were using in-game chat, how it's supposed to be played, they were listening to you, but also not talking, and they were coordinating and communicating through party chat. So, what's going on, Tactful? How you doing? Welcome in.
Like that pissed me off. I'm surprised though that it's not on PC because of Discord. To me, I think that it would be worse on PC than on console because Discord is so widespread.
Yeah, I know. But it's just Insurgency, like it goes like with Hell Let Loose and Insurgency, the PC content comes out first, and it has a larger community. So the console gaming world, like, sure, it's fun, it's a great game on console, but the biggest issue is that the communication, like the game, doesn't work well on console because you got party chat. So,
but you've got Discord on PC, which is the go-to for fucking everybody.
I know. Well, even still with Discord, people still use the prox chat.
It's rare.
It's not on PC's Insurgency. It's not, because the prox chat, like VoIP is what makes certain games feel the way they do. Like you have Tarkov. You can use Discord to talk within Tarkov, but VoIPing is so much fun, and everyone does it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I hate that console doesn't do it.
Brock got me interested in Hell Let Loose after playing it. I don't think of COD or Battlefield. Yeah, Hell Let Loose is a fucking fantastic game, by the way. But anyway, so we're going to have to end this recording, guys. The episode's over with, and then I got to pass it over to the next streamer. So I'm going to end the recording, and then...
Discord will be on PlayStation. So we thought so too, but the Discord to PlayStation integration was basically just in Discord, you can connect your PlayStation account, and it'll show that what you're playing.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's not an actual... You can't use Discord on PlayStation the way that you use it on PC. So
unfortunately,
it's the integration was literally just saying PlayStation, you're playing this game on PlayStation. That's it. You can't communicate outside of that. It just links your fucking PlayStation account to it to show that you're on and showing what you're playing, and that is it. I mean, eventually they might
up so much.
They did. Eventually they might add communication, but as of right now, it doesn't look like they are.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So for those of you that are watching on the YouTube recording and listening on Spotify, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for another episode of the Blacklisted Gaming Podcast, and we'll catch you guys later. All right? Thanks for hanging out with me, Doc. Love you.
guys.
Bye.